Good evening and welcome to the Frontline game day broadcast from Memorial Gardens. Tonight's matchup features the West Division leading Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds taking on the Eastern Conference leaders and sixth in the country, North Bay Battalion. I am Derek Linden and I'm pleased to be joined by my co-host, Jamie McKee.
Good evening, everyone. The pregame show is brought to you by Long's Maple Syrup. Their maple syrup products are available for sale all year round. Just head to longsmaplesyrup.ca where you can find products and find recipes from main courses to desserts. That's longsmaplesyrup.ca, a proud sponsor of the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Yes, tonight's matchup features the Sioux Greyhounds coming in on a 3-game winning streak, taking on the North Bay Battalion that are coming off a very strong last 10 games, 7-1-1. These two are two high-powered offenses. Jamie, what can we expect from tonight's contest?
Yeah, like you just mentioned, two high-powered offensive teams, specifically led by their top line. With North Bay, obviously we have Petroff, Jackson, and Co. And then with the Greyhounds, with Dickinson in the middle, Cartier and Cloutier on either wings. I expect a high-scoring game for sure. Both goalies, I think, will be very busy this evening. With Joe Verbetic in net. Obviously, he's putting up some very good numbers early on this season. And with Sault Ste. Marie, Tucker Tynan, who I'm sure most of our listeners know of. He is the newest goaltender with the Greyhounds, and I'm sure he's looking forward to getting a good start with the team.
Yeah, Tucker Tynan being just recently acquired from the Niagara Ice Dogs in exchange for a 8th-round pick in 2024 and a 3rd-round pick in 2025. Getting a fresh start up in Sault Ste. Marie, and the Greyhounds have high expectations. Earlier this week, we were able to catch up with head coach Ryan Houlihan.
Let's talk third straight week the team's in the top 10. Are you getting the word is the word out, I guess, about the battalion? And have you noticed that in the games you're playing, that you're getting more respect out there, harder to get points, that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, I think I said that a couple weeks ago, which is a good thing. I don't think that's a secret anymore that we're a strong hockey club. And when we got the recognition a few weeks ago, we made a point we didn't want it to be a 1-week acknowledgement. We wanted to keep playing well. We knew that teams are going to play their best against us, and yes, we've certainly seen that. We're not going to get a free pass. Teams are they're going to want to play their best against us, which ultimately is going to improve us and make us a stronger team too.
You got the Sioux coming up this week. You played them 3 times. The good thing is you're not playing them in the Sioux this week, but they have, like you guys, they have that one line you really have to focus on, right?
Yeah, they have some really deadly offensive players. I believe that as of right now, per game they are leading the league in goals. So we got to be aware of that. They're a really well coached team. John does a really good job since he's gone there. And I think our group has kind of liked to have these types of challenges. We haven't played at home in a while. Hopefully we get a little bit energized for that. And see what we can do against a really good team tomorrow night.
Can you talk a little bit about Brandon Coe? I know he signed this week, and what's impressed you so far this season with his overall play?
Well, just super proud of him. We've been talking a lot about his leadership of what he's done. I think everybody can see what he does on the ice for us. He's a valued player, plays in all situations, and leading the league in points. But I think what's been most impressive is how he's been in practices, in the weight room, how he has been off the ice with our young group, and our young players are really helping them along too. So couldn't be more proud of him to finally sign, and he's earned every little bit of it.
And you guys have been here before, right? With the same team, ironically, that Barclay Goodrow, he came to North Bay, signed with San Jose, and now Brandon Coe, same thing. What have you noticed in sort of his leadership? Barclay was known for his leadership, but in terms of his leadership for the young group?
Well, I think it just goes in terms of when they've got a test or a taste of the next level. In Brandon's case, he was able to play in the American League all last year, and so now the belief and when you see him go up to the weight room and have due diligence in that, when you see what it takes in practice, the pace that's involved every single day. I think those are some of the things that Brandon probably learned last year. He's continued it on for our group here, and it really elevates every single day for us. And for our young kids to see that and be forced to keep up can accelerate their development as well.
One more on sort of the challenges at this point of the year. I mean, everyone loves that first line, but big picture here. Are you in this sort of, as a coaching staff, do you talk a lot about spreading out the offense as the season moves along?
Yeah, that's a good point. We certainly are looking for other guys to step up. There's no secret that we're getting a lot of scoring from the one line, and if we can have other lines pitch in, then that can relieve a little bit of the pressure. We do feel like we have good depth, and it could come from lines 2 to 4 on any given night. I'd like to see one go in for certain guys and then build a little bit more confidence. But I think what's nice is, the way our back end plays, the way our defense plays can really move the puck, and that's been good. So, but yeah, certainly, that could just improve our team even more to get a little bit of secondary scoring.
Is there any keys to tomorrow night's game, or anything you're specifically focusing on?
Well, I kind of said there it's a high-scoring team with Sioux, so I think we got to be real good when we don't have the puck, and then just get excited to play in front of our crowd. When we play with energy and pace and speed and skill, we're a fun team to watch.
Just a question about you and John. Now, you were roommates at some point, right? And when you were coaching here, did you envision, if I said to you all those years ago, that you'd be matching wits, I guess, behind an OHL bench for both of you?
Well, that's the beauty of this game, right? You're right. John and I spent a lot of time together, and I have the utmost respect for him and what he can do, and I know how good of a coach he is. So really proud of the success he's had, and I'm sure it's going to continue for him. He's a good man, he's a good coach, and a good friend as well.
This Sunday is actually a special game for you guys with the Indigenous Youth Day. How is the team faring with that? How does it feel to have Dallin Wakely as a part of that?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's something that our organization can do, to kind of praise that. That's fantastic, and we're going to have a couple extra people in the crowd, which is nice, and hopefully it's loud. Hopefully everybody's engaged, and we're looking forward to that.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
That was head coach Ryan Houlihan. A lot of discussion there from Ryan Houlihan. The big news in the North Bay Battalion front, though, of the last week is Brandon Coe signing that entry-level contract with the San Jose Sharks. We're going to touch more on him in the first intermission, as we're going to have a chance to talk with him and ask him about that signing of that contract. Brandon Coe coming in on a 13-game point streak, 30 points over that 13-game streak. He's been hot. And 8 goals, 22 assists. I know that's a big reason. And talking to Doug Wilson Jr., he mentioned how that he was really excited about Brandon Coe picking up his offensive game. Another thing, though, Jamie, I want to ask you about is this relationship between these two coaches. John Dean of the Sioux Greyhounds and Ryan Houlihan of the North Bay Battalion. They were here in North Bay back when the Centennials and were actually roommates. You had a chance to talk to Ryan Houlihan about that relationship.
Yeah, as he did just touch on it in that interview there. But yeah, they go way back, just like Ryan mentioned. And I'm sure they're excited to get to play against each other this evening. I know John's in his 4th year with the Greyhounds, so they are kind of at different stages with the teams. But they're both coaching powerhouse teams this year, and I don't know, I'm sure like everything in life, it's fun to play against a good friend, especially when you go that far back. So I'm sure there'll be a text or a phone call or two after this evening's game is over.
One of the other things in the news this week for the North Bay Battalion is how they're ranked 6th in the country in the CHL. They're the top team in the OHL. They jumped ahead of the London Knights, who are sitting 7th. Unfortunately, Jamie, I'm sorry to bring that up. I know it's a little bit of a touchy subject, but I know Houlihan talked about how does that put a target on your back?
Yeah, he definitely did bring that up again in that conversation we had with him earlier this week. I think it shows how good this team is, though. I think that's something that they want, right? It shows some respect to know that Sioux's going to put their number 1 defensive pairing out against that number 1 line, and it just goes to show how well of a job that Houlihan has handled this team, especially with how young this team is. And to be number one out of I think there's 21 teams in this league goes to show that the battalion they're very legit.
One of the new faces we're going to see for the North Bay Battalion tonight, making his OHL debut, is Wasan Voodoo affiliate player Chase McQueen Spence. Just tell me what kind of feeling you would have if that was you making your OHL debut.
Well, as you mentioned, he was the battalion draft pick in 2021. Of course, coming down from the farm in Powassan, he's played 29 games so far, putting up almost a point per game, and he is only 16 years old. We saw him out there in warm-ups with his visor, full cage on. Got to follow the rules, of course, and I'm sure he is just so excited. Only 3 minutes here till they're going to take the ice. We already saw him do his rookie lap, earlier this evening, and I'm sure he's very nervous, but as everyone says, once he gets a shift or two under his belt, I'm sure he'll settle right in.
Yeah, in those 29 games, he's got 8 goals, 19 assists for 27 points in those 29 games. On the weekend, they were on the road, and Radion Tatarenko made his debut for the North Bay Battalion. So these are two guys that have a future with this North Bay Battalion team. And how important is it to get games in when you're like in this rookie season, even though you're not really with the team full time?
Exactly what I was just going to mention there. Being only 16 years old, even going up and down in the lineup, I think that's a great accomplishment for both of these players. And their time is, of course, coming. We know there are some graduating players on the battalion team this year, but they're a really good team right now. So to get the call to come up to the number 6 team in the country, I'm sure both those boys are feeling pretty good, and hopefully they can produce in the OHL as well.
So being scratched for the North Bay Battalion, 2 scratches again tonight. Tanias Mathurin scratched again, and Mitchell Russell not in the lineup tonight. So making those spots are Chase McQueen Spence getting called up, and Cam Govero.
Yeah, there are a couple scratches tonight. I think the battalion are just going to have to work hard. You know, there's a couple different lines as we look at the lineup here. A couple people have been shuffled around, but this is the OHL. These boys know what they're doing, so I don't really think it should matter who you're playing with. They practice day in and day out, and I'm sure we'll see a good performance here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a really tight game. Both of these teams are in the top of their division, with North Bay sitting on top of the Eastern Conference. As we said, 6th in the country. Sioux Greyhounds getting an honorable mention and sitting first in their division.
Also, I think we can expect a big game out of Rebetic tonight. Of course, we all know he wasn't invited to Team Canada, but I'm sure that lit a little fire under him, and he's put up some really good numbers so far through the first half of this season. And as I see him stretching right now, I'm sure he's going to be busy this evening, and I'm sure he's up for the contest.
Just correcting that little mistake, it's Mitchell Russell is in the lineup, and Kyle Jackson is scratched for tonight's game. As we get set for the national anthem, let's join Bob Coles and Matt Sukram for the call of tonight's action.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to have a brief pregame ceremony. 4th of 6 meetings between the battalion and the Greyhounds, the previous 3 in the Sioux. And this will be the first of 3 here in North Bay. A couple in the new year, back-to-back games against the Greyhounds and the battalion. So right now they're doing a brief pregame ceremony. Of course, it's been a while for North Bay. They've been on the road the last couple of weekends, and they've gotten points in every one but one game. They lost to Peterborough on the road, but they won the next night in Kingston, lost in overtime to Ottawa, and last weekend, big first place showdown beating Hamilton, and then beating Niagara last Saturday night. Kyle Jackson hurt in that game. Mathurin did not play the road trip last weekend, and those are 2 big absences. Mathurin from the plus-minus factor. He's so important defensively. They're going to miss him, and Jackson's been just really as valuable as Petrov and Coe in the first 20 games or so. So they're going to miss him. Mitchell Russell steps in. Josh Curry's back in the lineup, and Dallin Wakely moves to the third line. So I think this is where we're going to start to see the pressure maybe on the team's depth and how it responds. They're going to need some secondary scoring. Coach Houlihan referred to that, but with no Jackson in the lineup, I think those third and fourth line guys, Matt, are going to have to start to produce, give them some balanced scoring here as the season moves along.
Yeah, as you get closer and closer to the halfway point and then beyond that, you really expect your rookies to no longer feel like they're just joining the league. You expect to start to see them to make their mark on their league. And that is where, like you said, those guys on the third and fourth line, Van Steensel, Podaluch, Wakely, Outwater, Romani, you're going to start looking for them to provide more of that offense.
Now we're going to have our national anthem.
Thank you. Please remain standing as ING Wealth Management presents Linda Birch for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras porter l'épée, il sait porter la gloire, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Just before the anthem, Bob McIntyre, the longtime North Bay Battalion fan who passed away in June of 2020, was recognized with the ceremonial face-off, and Bob's stepsister Susan Vogue on hand, along with Reverend Ronnie Bahari of Emmanuel United Church. It's also awareness for Mothers Against Drunk Driving tonight. They're on hand at the Gardens entrance with to tell you about the Red Ribbon Campaign. Pick one up, buy one, support Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And remember, please, the holidays are coming. Please don't drink and drive anytime, but especially over the holidays. And remember, unfortunately, there is a need for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and let's not have any more fatal collision caused by alcohol this holiday season.
And as we get set up for puck drop, the North Bay Battalion playing their first home game here in a while. As you said, Bob, this is actually just their third home game since October 28th. So it's about time these boys got some home cooking.
And they've been great on the road. They're in the top 10 because of how they've played on the road. So really a chance to get some big home wins here. 3 home games over the next week here before the Christmas break.
The puck is dropped, and we are underway for battalion hockey on a Thursday night in North Bay. It's inside the battalion zone. Coe feeds it up ahead to Russell. It's just out of his reach into the neutral zone, and now the play is picked off by Petrov. He goes in on the right wing side, driving towards the net, tries to center it. It's off his skate, back to the stick of Petrov. Now he sends it to the point to Winslow. Across to the right side, Nelson for the battalion. Fires it. It's off a skate in front, bounces into the far side corner. Picked up there by Dickinson, and he will skate it up to the blue line. Draws himself back, and now sends it into the neutral zone for Kalisti. He fires it in, turned aside by Verbetic into the far side corner. Picked up there by the Greyhounds, who send it around to the half boards. Shot back into the corner. Holding it there is McKay. He sends it to the point. A big check on the far side, and North Bay skates away with the puck. Curry heading down the left wing side, in behind the net. One player tripped up. The puck goes to the far side boards. It's picked up there by Sema. He sends it back around to the near side. The Greyhounds get to the loose puck, trying to clear it. Getting it out of the zone is Cairns as he carries it over the blue line. Drops it to McKay. The shot stopped. Rebound chance is denied by Verbetic on a point-blank chance. North Bay with a little miscommunication going into the zone on that play. The shot is fired into the Sioux zone and picked up back there by Holmes. A minute and a half in to start this game. No score between the Battalion and the Greyhounds, and it's the Greyhounds moving the puck back into the North Bay zone towards the front of the net. Nice back check play by the Battalion to get the puck off the stick of the charging player. The North Bay Battalion pick it up. They send it down the ice, and icing is called against North Bay. About 2:40 in, no score.
Well, Jamie was asking me before we got to work tonight about the relationship between John Dean and Ryan Houlihan, and well, if you've ever met John Dean, he is as he appears. He's just a great guy. Played, of course, with the Centennials, and he's doing a great job coaching these Greyhounds. And of course, they coach together for the first the second, third, and fourth year. The Battalion were in North Bay, had some good playoff success with Dean and Houlihan, so I'm sure it'll mean a lot, whoever gets the win tonight.
And they face each other quite a few times when Ryan Houlihan was the coach of the Flint Firebirds and John Dean was the coach of the Sioux Greyhounds.
Correct.
Into the neutral zone, North Bay on the carry. It's Wakely dumping it down into the left wing side, and that line will look to change. Podaluch actually going in on the forecheck, but he can't come up with the puck behind the net, and it's cleared by the Greyhounds. Sent back down the ice into the North Bay zone. Verbetic out of the net to play it for North Bay. He sends it to the right side to Rose. Rose tries to get it out. It's stopped at the blue line. The Greyhounds pressing here. They send it to the middle. It's turned aside by Govro, and Govro carries it behind the net and sends it out to the neutral zone. Outwater is taken down by Holmes, and the Greyhounds are back in control of the puck. They are playing it at their own blue line, and now they skate forward with it. That's Owen Allard to left side. The shot comes in wide of the net. Picked up on the near side by Romani. He's trying to get it out of the North Bay zone. He kicks it ahead. It's into the neutral zone, but it's picked up there by Minyos, I believe, of the Greyhounds. And he's holding it on the near side boards. Now he feeds it up ahead to the neutral zone for Dickinson. Dickinson with a little miscommunication with his own player, and he sends it outside of the zone to retreat so that they could all get on the same side, both physically and mentally on that play. It's dumped into the North Bay zone, into the far side corner with 3.5 gone in this first period. Sent around to the near side and fired out of the zone by the Battalion. Picking it up quickly in the neutral zone are the Greyhounds. Dickinson sends it over the blue line. Play is broken up by Rose, and it's dumped down into the Sioux end, and that is where icing is called once again with 3:40 gone to open up this game.
Brandon Coe, of course, big week for him, signing that contract with San Jose. The last player to sign, who played for the Battalion, who signed a contract with San Jose, of course, was Barclay Goodrow, and we know what happened that year, Matt, so maybe that's a good sign, but Coe certainly deserving of that contract. He's been tremendous this year, both on and off the ice.
There's a shot towards the North Bay net. It goes way up in the air, and it comes back down around to the far side.
What impressed me most about Coe is his off-the-ice work with his just getting the young guys engaged and being a real leader, and much more vocal than he was, I guess, before the pause.
The Greyhounds have control of the puck in their own zone, and they clear it down the ice. That'll go the length of the ice, and it will be icing called against the Greyhounds. And you mentioned him, former San Jose free agent signing, actually,
That's right.
Barclay Goodrow. Now every time you got to talk about it, you have to say two-time Stanley Cup champion Barclay Goodrow, although he didn't win those cups with the San Jose Sharks.
No, with Tampa, and he's off to a good start in New York, and who he signed with over the summer. So's Mike Amadio, by the way. Got another goal for Vegas last night in a win. So some former Battalion players doing quite well in the big show right now.
Mike Amadio was battling for ice time with a former Sioux Greyhound with the Toronto Maple Leafs, that guy Michael Bunting. And Michael Bunting is contributing pretty well for the Toronto Maple Leafs at the big league club. So unfortunately for Amadio, he got waived from his pretty much his hometown team from the Toronto Maple Leafs. But now he's out in Vegas, and he doesn't have to shovel his driveway before he goes to practice out there. So I'm sure.
Of course, he's from Sioux
Sioux
is his
area,
hometown,
that's right.
So you wonder who he's cheering for tonight. I'm sure he's cheering for the troops.
5 minutes into this game, and there's no score as play resumes. The Greyhounds send a long stretch pass down the ice just out of the reach of Mignosa, and that will be an icing call. Bob, what do you make of the first 5:15 here of this game? Both teams really in a feeling out process. Not a lot of established offensive time so far.
Well, I think what we see, we don't know where they either have really high scoring games, the Greyhounds in the battalion, or really low scoring games. So you're right, they're feeling each other out. But I think a lot to depend on how the two goalies, and because there's some talent on the ice. Both teams have really two great, and I'm not underrating that, number one lines. And the goalies, if they're sharp, can keep it tight. But you know, those guys like Cairns and Co., if they can get going, we could see a few goals tonight. So, but good start for both teams.
And a huge hit off the draw from Lukin. He goes running over Carlisle in the Sioux zone, although the Greyhounds do get the puck out of the zone, and they've got control of it now all the way into the North Band. Nice play on the back check by Christopoulos, and that allows the battalion to carry the puck down. A draw pass to Christopoulos to the blue line, up ahead to the goal line for Petrov. His short angle shot is blocked by the goaltender Tynan, and I believe that'll probably be his first official save of the game. Sent down to the point. Christopoulos has it, fires, save made, rebound chance. Tynan makes a save again on his butt to block that one. And now on the far side boards, Coe gets knocked down, and that's going to be a slash against the Sioux Greyhounds. So the North Bay Battalion will get their first power play of the game. And this power play for the North Bay Battalion is brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details. I should mention, Bob, this period of battalion hockey is brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram. That's Northern Wood Customs on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch the battalion power play again. No Kyle Jackson, so that, and Mitchell Russell playing on that top line. Right now it's a second unit, so here's a perfect opportunity that we talked about. Some of the depth guys, a good opportunity here. Yes, it's a power play, but getting that opportunity with extra ice time to impress the coaches.
The Greyhounds clear the puck off the draw, sent down the ice. Verbetic plays it from out behind his own net, and it's there for Winslow. And Winslow will carry it forward. With 6.5 gone, Winslow all the way down into the Sioux end, goes to the left side boards, and now he sends it to the point for Wakely. Wakely to the left side boards to Winslow. He takes a shot up in the air, down behind Tynan, and somehow did cross the goal line. It's cleared away and well out of danger as it's sent down the ice to Verbetic. Oh, that was a close one with a minute almost gone here in this power play and 7 minutes gone in this period. And the battalion will try again. Coe down the ice, makes a move in front of the net, but then at the last chance, it's poked off his stick. Sent to the point. Nelson has it, keeping the puck in and keeping the power play alive here. To the left side, pass to Petrov. Petrov skates to the goal line, feeds it back to the half board to Nelson. He skates to the blue line, feeds it across to the right side to Coe. Coe back to the point, Nelson. Across the left side, Petrov. Petrov to the goal line to Russell. In front, off a skate, they score! Mitchell, the hustle, Russell banks it in off a skate. A power play goal for North Bay. It's 1-0.
That's just smart veteran intelligence by Mitchell Russell. Just push it to the net. You might get a bounce. It did. It went off a skate, as you said, and not the greatest angle for sure, but the battalion will take it. I was going to say Liam Arnsby was drawing in on the number one power play unit there, Matt, with no Kyle Jackson. Would they go to 2D and 3 forwards? But no, they keep the 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, and Arnsby now in the number one unit. But, you know, battalion take advantage of that opportunity to score early on Tynan, and a good power play goal there.
Mitchell Russell with his 14th goal of the season. $25 points now for the overager. If it is indeed his goal, they could still give it to Arnsby here. Nope, they're going to give it to Russell. So we are 8 minutes into the first period. The North Bay Battalion now have a 1-0 lead. Russell with the power play goal. And Ty Nelson will get an assist on that as well. So he continues to put up the points. And it's interesting, as you said, Liam Arnsby on that power play unit with Jackson out of action. Now the Greyhounds looking to counterattack. They've got control of the puck inside the North Bay zone. It's on the end boards. A big scrum back there. A lot of stick checks happening as someone is looking for control of the puck. It ends up on the stick of Potalucha, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. Turned over quickly. The Greyhounds looking to bring it back in on the near side boards. They flip it right towards Verbetic. He lets it bounce past him wide of the net, and it's sent into the near side corner. Holding it there is Govro. Just shielding the puck against a couple of players, and Potalucha in there to help out his young teammate, and they get it out to the neutral zone. It's Van Steensel carrying it down the ice. He dumps it in. Tynan will leave it. Van Steensel finds it in the near side corner. He sends it to the point. Lukin fires it on that. Save. Rebound chance for Sema, and he fires it off a stick, over the glass, and out of play. 10:44 to go in the first. 1-0 North Bay lead.
Of course, Tucker Tynan, everyone knows the story about what Tucker happened, a very scary situation in a game in St. Catharines before the pause. And great to see him out there. Of course, he played with Niagara for the first half of the year, got traded to the Greyhounds, but that was a scary night for everybody concerned about Tucker Tynan's health. And it's great to see him back playing, obviously, here in the OHL tonight.
Tucker Tynan has faced the battalion once before in his career. He made 25 saves in a 4-3 loss here in North Bay on November 24th, 2019. Of course, when he was with the Niagara Ice Dogs that year. Sent down the ice towards Verbetic. It's off the end boards, and he'll cover it up for another stoppage in play. 9:49 gone in the first period. It is 1-0.
And, of course, the first home game for Paul Christopoulos since his brother was traded to Windsor. So, it's got to be an unusual situation for him, not seeing his twin brother on the bench.
So, looking across at the ice here, Ryan Holohan having some words with the officials. I believe that the battalion weren't allowed to make a change there.
Yeah, it's the same group, right? Yeah, you're right.
So obviously he has an issue with that because as the home team, you get the last change. So, well, they win the draw and they send it down the ice, and now they get some fresh legs out there. So no harm, no foul, I guess, on that one. As the battalion dump it back down into the Sioux zone. It's in the corner, controlled by Coe. Sent to the point for Nelson. He fires it on net, well wide of the net. Off the boards on the near side. Winslow has it for North Bay. He gets hit. And then Coe tried to help him out, and he got knocked down by Cartier. And that allows the Greyhounds to get control of the puck. Racing down the ice is Dickinson. He drops it back to the blue line. It's up in the air. Comes back down. A huge hit thrown on Nelson. And that's going to draw a crowd and a whistle. And I believe the Greyhounds are going to get penalized here.
And again, Nelson, did you see what he did after he got hit? He got involved with his teammates and said, don't do anything. Yeah. We got a power play. He's done that a couple times this year. That's the leadership and the hockey smarts that that people talk about when they talk about Ty Nelson. I also want to make one more point about Brandon Coe this week. When Kyle Jackson got hit last week, Coe was the guy who stepped in, right, and got into a fight. Now, a lot of people would have said, what are you doing? But that's the leadership that Coe's showing this year. Protecting his teammates and reminding the opposition that you can't do that sort of thing. We got a timeout right now, so...
No, actually, they decide to take a late TV timeout. Okay. So let's send things over to Derek for our in-period break. Derek?
Yes, Mitchell Russell with his 14th goal of the season on the power play has given the North Bay Battalion a 1-0 lead halfway through this first period as they're about to go on their second power play of the evening. Only one other game in the OHL tonight has the Peterborough Petes hosting the Mississauga Steelheads. That game is scoreless halfway through the first period of play. Coming up in your first intermission, we'll have an opportunity to chat with Brandon Coe, and I'll be joined by Jamie McKee to recap tonight's action and take another look at that game in Peterborough. Now, let's go back to Matt Sukram and Bob Coles to wrap up this first period.
Thank you very much, Derek. And the Battalion about to go on their second power play of the night. The Battalion Power Play is brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details.
Well, it'll be interesting how the Greyhounds handle this penalty kill situation, because they weren't expecting Russell to just try and score from that angle. And usually the Battalion tend to send it back to the point and involve Petrov and Coe as the big deciders, but they didn't do that time. So a little different look with that Battalion setup there, and be interesting what they go back to right now is Arnsby again taking the draw here. He's on the number 1 unit now.
And right away, the Greyhounds clear it off the draw, sent down the ice. McKay in a foot race with Petrov. Petrov gets the puck first and sends it back to the neutral zone. It's carried by Russell. Coming down the right wing side, Russell gets it poked off his stick and it goes into the corner. He sends it behind the net. It's cleared out to the blue line. Petrov keeps it in the zone, plays it to the right side boards. Pass back across to the near side for Nelson. The Battalion defenseman walks the middle. Big slap shot, and it's just wide of the net. Up to the line, kept in the zone by Petrov. He sends it around the far side boards for Coe. Coe back behind the net for Russell. He slides it to the near side boards for Petrov. Petrov spins, sends it to the corner for Arnsby. Arnsby down the point for Nelson, holds it, sends it to the left side for Petrov, walking to the hash marks. Fans on the shot. The Greyhounds get it and clear it. 8:35 to go in the first period. It's 1-0 North Bay with 1:05 remaining on this second power play of the game for the home side. It's Nelson bringing it over the blue line. Now up to the Greyhounds blue line, dumping it in. Played around to the near side boards. It's Wakely. He plays it to the blue line for Rose. Rose tries to chip it back behind the net. That's blocked, and the Greyhounds will clear again. 8:10 remaining in the first. 45 seconds to go in this man advantage for the Battalion. They also lead 6-5 in shots, and they lead where it's important. It's 1-0 as they've got one more man on the ice as they bring it back into the Greyhound zone. Sent around to the near side boards. Played to the point to Winslow. Winslow plays it in the far side corner. Podaluch looking for it. He's being held against the boards. Big battle back there, and the puck is cleared from that area, and it's out to the neutral zone. Curry has it for North Bay as they get one more attempt into the zone here. It's Rose coming in on the left side, going to the net, puts it in front. Curry's there, and he can't score. They had Tucker Tynan pulled out of the net looking for the puck, and then a backhanded shot from Curry on the other side, but they could not bury it again. We're back to 5-on-5 play here as jumping out of the box for the, well, they don't have it up here, so I can't remember what player came out of the box. But it's back to 5-on-5 play with 7 minutes to play in the first. 1-0 North Bay. And it is Dickinson carrying it down the ice. Gets blocked at the line, and it's cleared. The Sioux back in control with it. Kalisti fires it forward. It's tipped and dumped into the North Bay zone. Going towards Verbetic. Dangerous play as a couple of players converge right near the goal mouth, but it's turned aside and sent out of the zone. Tom's with it for the Greyhounds. Sends it across to the far side. Up ahead to Mignosa. Coming in on the right wing. The shot save made. Rebound comes in and denied as well. The Greyhounds so far have done a great job of making something happen out of a seemingly innocent play. They send it to the net again. It's turned aside by Verbetic. Sent to the near side boards. Big battle there. A couple of players involved. It comes away from that area, picked up by Christopoulos, sent to the far side boards and cleared by North Bay. 6 minutes remaining in the first. 1-0 North Bay as the Greyhounds look to get it out of their zone again. They do. It's down the ice. It's touched in the neutral zone, so North Bay will have to play it. It's Govro behind his own net. Played to the right side boards for Rose. Rose will play it back behind the net and clear it down the left wing side for Curry. In the neutral zone, he finds Russell. He comes in on the left wing. Dumps it into the Greyhound zone. It's played behind the net by the Sioux, and they will get it out. Off the bench and in control of the puck, the North Bay Battalion move it forward again. Up ahead down the left wing side for Russell. He dumps it in off the glass with 5:20 to play. It's kept in the zone on the far side by Rose. He plays it behind the net. Out in front, the shot save made. Petrov was right there all alone, caught the bouncing puck, and was one-on-one with Tynan, but he couldn't beat the Sioux goaltender.
Battalion looked good on that power play. They didn't score on it, but Tynan was sharp, and you're right. The Greyhounds can make something out of nothing. That's what they're a very quick skating team, one of the fastest skating teams in the league, and they've got a lot of guys on their team who know what to do with the puck when they get it. So, you've got to stay close. You got to check them pretty closely. They're very explosive, and it doesn't take much for them to get a scoring chance.
McKay coming in for the Greyhounds into the North Bay zone. Backhands it towards the net, turned aside. Nice defensive play by Winslow to get in the way of that one. It's in the near side corner. Couple of players battling for it. Gets cleared up to the stick of Petrov, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. It's taken away quickly by Kalisti. He turns and he goes down the far left wing side. In the middle, sends it to Cairns, who dumps it in. Ricocheted around the boards to the far side, back up to the line, and out and over the line into the neutral zone.
Well, Matt, Josh Curry, it's his first game since the suspension, right? As he didn't play last weekend after that slew foot call in the Ottawa game.
And he had some time on the power play for the secondary unit. Almost scored as well. Out to the neutral zone. Podolou coming down the right wing side. Backhanded. And it's wide of the net. To the near side boards. Lukin fires it around back to the far side. Picked up there by Holmes of the Greyhounds. He sends it around to the near side for Carlisle, but he's being pressured by Podolou. Podolou steals it, sends it in front for Wakely, and his shot is blocked. Rebound to Lukin at the line. He sends it across to the right side of Christopoulos. His shot is blocked as well. North Bay pick up the rebound again. It's on the far side. Van Steensel sends it to the M boards for Wakely. Wakely from his knees tries to center it, but that is blocked by Dickinson, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. Hard hit by Christopoulos as he runs over, I believe that was Brostowski. And now a retaliatory hit on the near side. Lukin and Boudreau going at it. Lukin knocks down Boudreau, got the stick up pretty high. That's going to draw a penalty against the Battalion here. But the officials trying to get in the way before some real rough stuff happens.
Well, that's, you called it perfectly. You got the stick up high. I was going to say that was a good response by Lukin, but you can't get your stick up that high. That's when it becomes almost dangerous, right? And deservedly, he gets a penalty call there. But Lukin's done a good job of avoiding those types of plays. When he's hit somebody hard, they've been clean hits. But that one wasn't well done there.
First power play of the game for the Sioux Greyhounds, who come in with their power play at 33%. Not a bad power play, first in the league.
Yeah, John Dean knows how to coach power plays. I think
and we saw that here with the Battalion. Yeah. The Greyhounds come into the zone. Nelson gets his stick in the feet of Cartier. Cartier goes down, and the Battalion are about to go down by two guys.
Well, what's worse than killing a penalty against the Greyhounds when you're two men short? And that's exactly the situation for a minute 42. This with only 3:06 left in the period, so it's already a pretty big turning point in the game. The Greyhounds and the Battalion penalty killers really going to be tested over the next minute and a half, they hope.
They win the faceoff and clear it. 3 minutes to go in the first. North Bay up 1-0, but they're down by 2 men. Just looking across at the Battalion bench, and the coaches talking animatedly with the players. They know this is a big moment here early in the game. The Greyhounds move the puck back into the North Bay zone. On the far side, across, pass to the near side, shot save made, rebound cleared away from the scoring area. It's picked up off the boards by Cairns. Down the point, now to the left side. Dickinson walking in, scores. It's a power play goal for Tanner Dickerson. And the Greyhounds tie it at 1.
You look at that and you go a minute 42, okay, you're probably going to give up 1, but hopefully it's in the last 15 seconds of the penalty kill, but it isn't. It's very early, just great passing, great patience, and a good accurate wrist shot by Dickinson, but they've still got a minute 25 on the second penalty, So the Greyhounds really with a chance to take the lead here before intermission.
That's the 12th goal of the season for Tanner Dickinson, and that is his 33rd point of the year. He's now third on the team in goals scored behind Cartier's 20 and Karen's 13. And here they come again. Off the draw, right to the zone. The shot, blocker save made. Down to the point, across the right side. Karen's in control. Pass back to the point. Now to the left side. It's Dickinson again. Plays it down low. Fed back around on the near side. Karen's puts it to the line. It's out of the reach of, I believe that's Kudratsev back there. And Kudratsev chases it all the way into his own zone and holds it and allows his power play unit to get some fresh legs out there. And now those fresh legs have some speed going into the North Bay zone. Hard hit on the far side boards. North Bay get control of the puck, and they send it down the ice with 25 seconds to go on the Nelson penalty. It's 1-1 with 1:25 to play. So the Battalion with a couple of nervous 20 seconds here if they can kill it off. It's down to Verbetic, and he'll put the glove over top of it and freeze it with now 15 seconds remaining in the Nelson penalty. But the faceoff will be inside the North Bay zone.
The Greyhounds are a totally different team when they have the power play. I know you got one more guy out there, you figure every team's like that, but it's not really true. Because they have more room, they get to use their speed so much more. And 5-on-3 is basically impossible against the Greyhounds, but they're a totally different team. They create that space.
Kalisti with the puck on the right side, sends it to the point to Holmes. Big slap shot blocked in front by Lukin. It's sent down the ice. A minute to go in the period as Nelson is back out there and he skates right to the bench. And that's a hard penalty for Nelson to take. I mean, he was just trying to make a stick check and got his stick too close to the feet of Cartier. And Cartier got the draw. Here comes Curry down the ice. Shot point blank. Save made by Tynan.
And Matt, that's sort of what they do when the Greyhounds have the puck is they look for those up because they skate so fast. You can say I'm in a good defensive position, and then suddenly you're not, and you put your stick down there, and there's a tripping call. So that's why they're one of the faster teams, and their speed can impact the game.
So 43 seconds remaining in the first. Face-off is to the blocker side of Tynan in the Greyhound zone. The Greyhounds win the draw, and they get it out. McKay dumps it down the ice. Nelson the first to it. Played around in the near side boards. Picked up by the Greyhounds' McConnell Barker. And sent back around on the near side. Back to McConnell Barker. Tries to come in front. He gets tied up. Winslow turns it aside. And it's shot to the near side boards. Boudreau with a big hit on Petrov. The puck bounces out of that area. Nelson picks it back up. Clears it out to the neutral zone. Petrov had a chance at it, but couldn't control the bouncing puck. 3 seconds to go, and that will end the period. So, an entertaining opening 20 minutes, but both teams will head to the locker room, evened up. It's 1-1.
Yeah, great stuff in that first period. Lots of chances. Good goaltending at both ends, but it's special teams, the big story. Each team with a power play goal. And we could see a few more. Both teams got to stay out of the box if they're going to win tonight because both power plays look pretty good. Here's Derek.
Some great coaching comments there by our own Bob Coles. That was the story of the first period. A pair of power play goals have it tied up at 1-1. Getting on the board first for the North Bay Battalion, Mitchell Russell with his 14th goal of the season on the power play at the 7:28 mark. Petrov and Nelson picking up assists on the power play goal before at the 17:29 mark, Tanner Dickinson is 12th of the season on the two-man power play advantage. Kudratsev and Karen's picking up the assist on that power play goal. A pair of penalties each way. Dickinson for slashing at 6:02. Ty Cart for charging at 10:36. A pair for the Battalion, Alexander Lukin slashing at 16:36. Ty Nelson tripping at 16:54. Shots in the first period were in favor of the North Bay Battalion, 10-8 in that 20-minute of play. Power play, 1 for 2, both of those, and face-offs dead even down the middle at 8 apiece. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, the Mississauga Steelheads have a 1-0 lead on the Peterborough Petes. That one is through the first period as well. Jamie, let's bring you in now. Thoughts on that first period of play?
Pretty much as even as you can get, especially if you were listening there to Derek himself read off the update, I guess we can call it. Shots are pretty close, very physical as well, I would like to add. Pretty much after every whistle there, especially the second half of that period, quite a few scrums. That's where some of the penalties did come from as well. Some big players laying some big hits, and both goalies making some good saves as well. And if you look at the scoreboard again, score is obviously 1-1. Both teams capitalized and didn't capitalize on the power play, so I think it's a lot like we expected. Two top teams going head-to-head, right?
And that's what we want to see here at North Bay at the Memorial Gardens, is that we see the top 6th-ranked North Bay Battalion. They're trying to defend their barn, and any team that comes in here wants to put some damage in that battalion front, and that's what the Sioux Greyhounds are trying to do. And as Bob calls and we've discussed, it's penalties. You got to stay out of that penalty box. You're looking at 2 top power plays. Sioux Greyhounds are first in the league at 33%, and the North Bay Battalion sit 5th in the league at 26.8%, and that's where good teams make the differences on those specialty teams.
Well, absolutely. I remember Bob saying when the Sioux got that 5-on-3, obviously it wasn't looking good for the troops. Obviously, John Deed knows how to coach a team on a power play, and they made no mistake burying a quick one there to get on the board. And yeah, again, both of these teams are very offensively driven, so if you're going to give them an extra man on the ice, you can almost guarantee a goal.
One of those leaders for the North Bay Battalion is Brandon Coe, sitting atop of the OHL leaderboard right now with 46 points. The big news for Brandon Coe is he signed that big 3-year entry-level contract with the San Jose Sharks. And earlier this week, we were able to have a chat with Brandon Coe.
Obviously, a pretty exciting week. Take us through, getting the news about the contract.
That was awesome. It's definitely a lifelong dream of mine, and I can't thank my parents enough for the sacrifice and the money they put into myself and the love for my game. And obviously, we're having a good year as a team, and we're starting to get some individual success as well. Petrov signed a couple months ago as well, and hopefully we can get a couple more guys as well. So it's been good.
Have you noticed, as the season's gone along, the different ways, I guess, the teams you're playing are trying to handle your success as a line? All 3 guys are having great years, including yourself. Have you noticed that changing as the schedule starts to ramp up?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Throwing their top D pairing out against us and their top line, trying to get some line matches against us. But I think we've done a pretty good job of handling it and keeping our success moving forward, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Does your game change at all now that you're signed to San Jose?
No, I think just bringing this to my same game every night, it's been working for myself for the year so far, and just keeping that up and trying to provide for my team as much as possible and keep the momentum going, pushing into the second half and into the Christmas break.
What do you think is working so well for you? Obviously, you're leading the league in points. What's going well this year?
I think just having the pro level last year helped out a lot with my confidence and just developed my game a little bit more with the older guys. And I think coming back here helped me a lot with my confidence and my skill as well. So I think it's been working out, and hopefully I can keep going.
Can you tell us your original reaction when you found out about a couple days ago?
Yeah, so they sent in the offer on my birthday actually. So luckily my mom was up and I got to tell her, and I got the news later in the night, and it was definitely a good birthday present, and yeah, it's good.
What was the reaction from your parents, saying you have this signed deal now?
I think my mom was just really happy. Getting a 3-year deal with my entry-level contract was obviously a goal of mine as a young kid, and just making that next step to hopefully pursuing my dream as an NHL hockey player is awesome, and she's really proud of me.
Back to North Bay, I was going to ask you about your leadership. How have you taken that on this year, being one of the veterans?
I think just being an older guy, when I was younger, I saw Riley Bruce do a good job, and guys like Justin Barrazzo and Brett McKenzie in my past years were really good leaders, and think just trying to pick little things that they did and just trying to be the best leaders possible with the young core we have here. And I think you guys are in good hands for years to come with those guys too.
Now, speaking of leadership, is there anyone you've taken under your wing this year, or anyone that's really taken a shine to you or you to them?
I think not necessarily. I think just we have a lot of young guys, as you can tell from our lineup. I think just a lot of the team building stuff that we've done. We've gone out for a lot of team dinners, or whether we're going bowling, to the movies and stuff like that. I think that's helped a lot for getting a nice young core group together, and I think we've done a pretty good job as the older guys trying to bring the team more together instead of everyone in their separate little cliques or whatnot. So I think we've done a pretty good job.
Thank you.
That was Brandon Coe, assistant captain of the North Bay Battalion, signing that big entry-level contract with the San Jose Sharks. I'm pretty sure the next team dinner, it's going to be on his tab, Jamie.
Absolutely. Like he mentioned, a dream come true for him. Obviously, the work doesn't stop now. I know he has quite a bit of AHL experience under his belt, but of course, it's a whole different ball game getting into the NHL. But based off the first half or however many games we're into this season, he's definitely proved that I'm sure we'll see him up there one day.
What a birthday present it is for him, picking that up on his birthday, December 1st. I know it must be such an excitement time for him, and I know we've been talking up here, and it was always like, how long is San Jose going to go before they sign Coe? And you know what? Good on Brandon Coe, and it looks good on the city of North Bay now having both Petrov and Coe for those signs. Well, if you're enjoying today's contest, why not come Sunday, December 12th? That's the next home game against the Barrie Colts. It will be Indigenous Youth Day. Join the battalion as they recognize Indigenous youth in and around North Bay and our neighboring First Nation communities. Special pregame ceremony with Nipissing First Nation Chief Scott McLeod and Mayor Al McDonald. Information booth, prizes, and much more to be won at the game. Indigenous Youth Day is about fostering pride and building relationships, bringing people together through sport to create lasting memories and friendships, highlighting the importance of community in supporting the development of our youth. Show your support by wearing an orange shirt to the game. Every child matters. And then on Thursday, December 16th, 7 p.m., as the Niagara Ice Dogs are in town to take on the North Bay Battalion, it is Brick North Bay Teddy Bear Toss. Buy a Brickley the Bear Teddy Bear at the game and toss it on the ice when the battalion score their first goal of the game. $20 each, with the proceeds going to the Children's Miracle Network. Plus, $10 will be donated to the North Bay Santa Fund. Fans can also bring their own new teddy bear wrapped in plastic as well. A $1,000 and $500 shopping spree is to be won as well. Visit the North Bay table in the main lobby for more details. And then closing out the calendar year on Friday, December 31st, it is a 1 p.m. game as the Oshawa Generals come to town to take on the battalion. It is Subway New Year's Day game. Join the battalion for this traditional New Year's Eve Day game sponsored by Subway. Gift cards, t-shirts, plus much more to be won by the Troops Game Day sponsor. Subway, proud corporate sponsor of your North Bay Battalion. Well, Jamie, just 7 minutes left here before the second period. Message from Ryan Houlihan to his team setting up this second period.
I knew that one was coming. You always tee that one up for me in the first intermission. Overall, I think he should be pretty impressed with the team. I know they haven't really been home lately, so I'm sure having the fans in the crowd again is something that they're happy to have. And obviously the 5-on-3 is something that they obviously don't want, but again, a little bit of a different call there on Nelson. But I'm sure he's just saying keep going with it. I know their lines are a little bit different tonight too, so lots of adjustments to be made, and I'm sure they're trying to get out of the second period better than a tie. Of course, they would want to be leading heading into the third, but still lots of hockey to be played.
Yeah, and you know what? A very good first period. Physical, fast-paced, end-to-end rushes, penalties again being the name of the game. How important is it to stay out of that penalty box?
Well, I think like we've mentioned a couple of times, this team, as in the Greyhounds, they know how to score on the power play as they showed us halfway through that period or so there. So The battalion, they did get off to a good start with the lead, and then they got into some penalty trouble, which puts us at the 1-1 score. But like you mentioned, staying out of the penalty box is definitely crucial, especially when you are playing against the number one team on the power play. Again, like we mentioned, they don't make many mistakes, and when you're down a man, it's tough out there.
One of the players I talked about is Voodoo's and battalion prospect Chase McQueen-Spence. Thoughts on his few but very powerful shifts there in that first period?
Yeah, I think it's all about getting your feet wet, right? I'm sure he doesn't have many expectations, but he's fitting in from what I can see. A couple nice passes deep in the corners in both ends. And again, he's only 16 years old. This is his first time stepping on ice in a battalion jersey. So again, like I mentioned in the pregame, the more the better for him, and I think just with time he's going to gain that experience and gain that confidence, so I think we can even maybe expect a better second period out of him.
So being such a weird schedule this year due to COVID, we see that the East and West conferences are kind of kept them to themselves. This is for North Bay, their only one matchup that they have against the Western Conference team, as such the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. Is there anything less that important to this game if you're not playing inside your own conference?
No, I think if anything, maybe it's even more. They really want to get the win tonight. I think, as we mentioned before, the Greyhounds obviously are leading the head-to-head so far this year, with all three games taking place up in the Soo. And obviously, they don't play each other as many times as they play the teams in their conference. So, good little preview for the playoffs potentially, and the more wins that they can get out of this team, because they don't play them as often, I think it means quite a bit.
Yeah, taking a look at those previous three games, the first one was a 4-1 victory by the Sioux Greyhounds, and then they split a pair of games as they played back-to-back games on a Saturday-Sunday matinee game, seeing the Sioux Greyhounds take that first game. Sorry, it was a Friday-Saturday, with the Sioux Greyhounds taking the Friday night contest 8-5, and Saturday the North Bay Battalion respond with a 4-2 victory, and that's where we sit 2-1 in that season series. Just taking a look forward to the weekend. It's a busy week for the battalion, playing 3 and 4. Next game is going to be Saturday afternoon, 2 o'clock in Barrie at the Saddle-On Arena. We'll have that game broadcasted to you on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. Myself, Courtney, and our very talented producer Ben Long will join us for the road trip, and then we'll make the return here at Memorial Gardens, as the Barrie Colts will make a return trip here to play the back end of that home and home series. 2 o'clock, North Bay Memorial Gardens, and that will be Indigenous Youth Day.
Again, looking at, obviously that is a little bit ahead, a little bit forward in time, as we still have 40 minutes to go in this game, but we all know the Colts and Troops do not like each other. Back-to-back days, I don't know, whatever the outcome is Saturday, the team that loses is going to want a different outcome Sunday, so I'm sure both those games will be very exciting, but I'm sure as the refs take the ice again here, and as the teams start to kind of line up and also take the ice, tonight's game is the only thing on the mind as of right now.
If you want to find out more information about the North Bay Battalion, why not give the Frontline podcast a subscription and a listen? This week they had a great interview with equipment manager Mackenzie Campbell. A great conversation that went on for numerous miles of my drive today to MacTier. Always a great listen as Courtney Kenny and Tom Parise get to chat with some of the North Bay Battalion brass players. Always a great listen. You can find the Frontline podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts.
Wherever
Download
you get
it.
your favorite podcast.
Wherever you get your favorite podcast. Usually is dropped on a new episode, dropped every Wednesday morning. Give it a follow. You'll really enjoy it and learn more about the North Bay Battalion. As we get set for this second period, let's go back and rejoin Bob Coles and Matt Sukram.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Coach Cal. Yes, he's a 6-year-old, and I've noticed over the last couple of weeks he's been doing pre-game motivational talks with the Peterborough Petes. He's charming. Google Coach Cal, not John Calipari of Kentucky, but Coach Cal. He's a 6-year-old, and he gave a nice pregame chat to the Petes when they played Ottawa a couple of weeks ago. Even got featured on a TV station in LA. They interviewed Cal and young Mr. Robertson of the Petes about that. So it was a lot of fun to watch that. 6-year-old Cal giving the pregame speech, and the players, Matt, I don't know if you caught this, the players, the Pete's players, they were so intently listening to this 6-year-old get them going. Told them to shoot the puck more, told them to find the open guy, finish their checks. It was, and they asked him, he said, what are your goals now? He says, later in life. And he said, well, I'm going to play in the NHL till I'm 45.
Of course.
Then I'm going to become a coach and then a GM, because then I get to
it's all laid out for him.
Yeah, then I get to have the right players on my team. So I thought it was just a great use of social media. It was a fun story, and we don't have a lot of that in the world. But I was watching, like one of the stations in LA did like a 5-minute interview on their lunch show with Coach Cal.
I'm surprised 6-year-old could stay on topic for 5 minutes. That's great.
Oh, he was focused. Like you don't get some OHL coaches that are that focused.
That's what I mean. Well, play back underway. Let's see how well the Trues focus on the task at hand here. It's tied 1-1 between the Battalion and the Greyhounds, and the puck is sent into the North Bay zone. Picked up behind the net by Nelson, and he flips it down the ice, looking for a stretch pass to Petrov, but it bounces off the stick of the defender that was just in front of him and then turned aside and sent right back down the other way. In behind the North Bay net. Big scrum back there. And the puck is cleared out of the zone. Chasing it is Holmes, and he'll hold it along the Greyhounds' end boards. A minute in, 1-1 the score. Holmes still holding it back there. Now he brings it out. Tried to get the pass up to Dintino. That didn't work. Curry has it. Sends it across for Sema, and the save is made by Tynan. Behind the net, Holmes finds the puck for the Greyhounds, and he gets it out to the neutral zone. Another turnover. Curry coming in the zone, makes a move, goes to the middle. He's dragged to the ice, and he'll get the benefit of the doubt on the call. It's probably going to be hooking, and yes, it will be hooking. And going to the box is Carlisle, so the Battalion will go on their third power play of the game. And the Battalion power play is brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details.
Now, Matt, in the interest of fairness, and that's what we try to be up here, if that was on a Sault Ste. Marie player, the fans would be booing right now.
Probably. The Battalion 1 for 2 on their power play opportunities. It's tied 1-1, a minute 40 into the period, and the Battalion get the shot towards the net, deflected wide, picked up by Dickinson and cleared. The Battalion, as I said, 1 for 2 on their power play opportunities. The Greyhounds also 1 for 2 on theirs. Here comes Nelson down the ice on the right wing side, going in behind the net. Plays it to the far side boards for Russell, who got the opening goal on the power play for North Bay. He carries it behind the net, sent around to the near side, off the glass and cleared out of the zone by the Greyhounds. 1:10 to play in the power play, as the Battalion looking to get the puck out of the zone, but the Greyhounds playing 2 guys up high. And the Battalion finally get it past them. They move it in the zone. Russell with the shot, and he fans on it. Or he took the shot, fanned on it, and it was cleared away by the Greyhounds. Another chance here, right in front of the net, and Rose couldn't get a good shot off. And with 2:40 gone in the opening period, or the second period here, it's a 1-1 game with the Battalion down to 35 seconds on the man advantage. Play around to the near side boards. Curry down to the point. Back to Curry on the right wing. Looks to take a shot. Blocked by Holmes. Curry gets the puck back. In behind the net now, looking for some space. He sends it down to the point to Winslow. Winslow to the half boards to Curry. Curry looks across to the far side to Rose. Rose walking in, sends it to Curry. Shot, scores! There was some spice on that one. Josh Curry with a power play goal.
Spice indeed. Top shelf where they keep the peanut butter. That was a beautiful, that was a goal scorer's goal is what that was by Josh Curry. And that's why, you know, a lot of people believe he has the capability to be a 30-goal scorer in this league because he showed good patience, waited for the pass, and then just fired it upstairs over Tynan's left shoulder. And North Bay victimizing the Greyhounds there. And special teams, so important, all 3 goals.
9th goal of the season for Josh Curry. And remember, he's the one that drew the power play for the Battalion initially. He's the one that got hooked going into the zone. And so it's his power play, might as well be his goal. It's 2-1 North Bay early on here in the second period, about 3:40 in. The Greyhounds now have a chance going the other way. Racing towards it is Carlisle, and then he blows a tire, falls down inside the North Bay zone, and that allows the Battalion to clear the puck. In the neutral zone, the Greyhounds back in control. The dump in is blocked, and North Bay get it back out quickly. Christopoulos trying to lead the charge the other way. It's knocked off his stick, and the Greyhounds recover and send it down the ice. Oh, it got past everybody, excuse me, and that's going to be icing called against the Greyhounds. So the Battalion with an opportunity here, getting the offensive zone draw.
Yeah, it's a big goal for Curry, Matt. You know, he missed the last 2 games because of the slew foot, and I didn't think that that incident was really worthy of a 2-game suspension, but a rule's a rule. All slew foots are created equal in the OHL's mind. Automatic 2-game suspension, but comes through big with a goal here.
Battalion with a shot, that's blocked, and it cleared out of the zone. Picking it up quickly behind his own blue line, Rose. He sends it down the right wing for Wakely. Wakely lost it. Boudreau has it for the Greyhounds. Over the blue line, he dumps it into the corner. Picking it up is Govro. He sends it around to the near side. Wakely picks it up. He tries to get it out of the zone, and he does. Chasing it down the ice is Podolou. Podolou in a big battle with Holmes. Podolou finds it, sends it to the point. Govro with a shot tipped, and off the side of the net. Nice play by that young group out there on the ice for the Battalion. The Greyhounds now have control of it. Racing down the right wing side is McKay. McKay, drive to the net, backhanded stab at it, is blocked by Verbetic, and he'll hold on to it for a stoppage in play. About 4:55 gone in the second period. It is 2-1 North Bay.
Yeah, Cole McKay, one of their veterans here with the Greyhounds, and great speed to go in alone on Verbetic, but he held firm on his post and gets the face-off, keeping North Bay up by 2-1.
Face-off inside the North Bay zone, won by the Greyhounds. It's at the point. The shot comes in, gloved down by Verbetic, and he'll hold on to it. That was Kirill Kudratsev on that shot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The 3 goalies, they used Verbetic twice last week, but they got 3 games over the next 4 days, so I'm sure Dom DiVincentis will get one of the games either Saturday in Barrie or here against Barrie on Sunday.
Played around to the near side boards. The Battalion in control. It's fed up ahead to Russell. Russell gets out of the zone and gets it over the blue line, and it's cleared quickly by the Greyhounds. Delayed offside here against the Battalion, so the Greyhounds get control. Kalisti has it, trying to escape the zone. Coe comes in, knocks the puck away from him, but off the boards is controlled again by the Greyhounds, Rory Cairns. Cairns behind his own net, fed back across to the far side to Kudratsev. He sends it up the middle for Cairns. Cairns over the blue line, drops it to the right side, pass back across. It's just out of the reach of Dentino. Back behind the net, now cleared away from that area to the near side boards. Dentino looked to line up Russell for a big hit, but Dentino got the worst of it, and that allows North Bay to get control of the puck, and they will clear the zone. It's on to the stick of Coe, coming in the right wing side, brushed off his stick and cleared back to the neutral zone. Picking it up quickly is Winslow of North Bay. He sends it to Petrov down the left wing side. Petrov tried to find the pass to Coe, that got broken up, and it's now on the stick of Kalisti of the Greyhounds. He sends it across over both lines to the right side. Coming into the zone with Savard. Savard in the corner, now passed down to the point. Tubbs coming in, deflected pass shot. It's off a skate and then turned aside by all the traffic in front of the net. Back into the middle of the zone. Play broken up by Arnsby, and he clears it down the ice. Holmes with a backhanded pass. Gets it back up to the North Bay blue line. It's broken up by the Battalion and sent down into the Greyhound zone. They play it back up quickly. It's Cartier over the blue line to Dickinson, and they're going to call offside on the Greyhounds there. Almost 6:40 gone in the second period. It's 2-1 2-1 for the Battalion over the Greyhounds.
Yeah, Josh Curry, the go-ahead goal. The Greyhounds don't go by the same philosophy North Bay does. North Bay loads up that top line, of course, with Kyle Jackson not playing tonight, but the Sioux tends to spread it out. But obviously, Cartier and Cairns are the big featured guys on the top line, and the Battalion have to try and keep them off the score sheet.
Play inside the Greyhound zone. Along the end boards, a couple of stick checks. The puck comes loose and is picked up by the Greyhounds. I believe that's Montroy there going into the zone. There's a big hit in the middle of the North Bay zone. The Battalion player is down, and no one is going to call anything. Now the puck hits the player. They finally blow the play down. Andrew Satchku, the North Bay Battalion trainer, is running out onto the ice. I'm not sure who the player is because of our angle here. He was on the ice on his stomach, but I couldn't get a read on the number. He's rolled over to his back now. And out of everything that's happened in the game so far, I'm surprised that hasn't been called.
That's Christopoulos, because Lucan is his partner, and they've been playing together most of the game. So you hope he's okay. He's suddenly slowly getting up. At least he's sitting up now. And
so on the replay, the Greyhounds player was just standing in the middle of the zone. Christopoulos came towards him, and the Greyhound player threw his stick up right into Christopoulos' chin in front of the official, and there was no call.
I know the Battalion coaching staff, they're not too happy over there. Of course, they got their masks on, so you can't see how angry they are, but they're all staring at the ref.
You can feel it, though.
They're all staring at the officials, so that's usually a good indication. You can get away with a lot more in the post-pandemic world, right? Than as far as what you can say to coaches than if the masks were off.
Play to the near side. The shot on Verbetic is stopped, turned aside, and Podolou gets it out of the zone. And he carries it all the way down to the Greyhound zone behind the net. Now he gets knocked off the puck. And out to the neutral zone. It's carried by the Greyhounds. On the right wing side, they come in the zone. A pass across doesn't work. And Van Steensel gets it for North Bay. He carries it down the left wing side, drops it back to Podolou, and his shot just goes wide of the net. Picked up by Wakely, centers it, and that's turned aside. Podolou has it back from behind the net. Centering pass, and Van Steensel can't get another shot off. Van Steensel was in a great position that entire shift, but the Greyhounds just snuffed him out on every opportunity. 8 minutes into the second. 2-1, North Bay lead. The Greyhounds have the puck in the attacking zone. Behind the net, it is Cairns carrying it around. Sends it to the point. Khaleesi, shot on net, deflected, and they score. It was McKay skating across the zone, deflecting it into the net. This game is tied at 2.
And a lot like the Battalion first goal, you just get it on the net or get it in front of the net. On the net that time, you may get some puck luck, and that appears what happened there is as Verbetic may not have seen it. Yeah, I think Joe Verbetic did not see that. As you're right, McKay was skating in front and just screened him temporarily, and Verbetic never saw it, and this game is tied. So a strange one for each team in this one.
So Cole McKay will get his 11th goal of the season, his 29th point on the year. And back and forth we go. It's a 2-2 game. Now, I haven't seen Christopoulos out there since that incident, so we'll see what happens. The Battalion with the puck. Nelson carrying it down the ice. Over the blue line, into the Greyhound zone. Driving towards the net. Sends it right in front, and the shot just goes wide. What a play by Nelson to get it right onto the tape of Russell. Here come the Battalion again, attacking the shot from Ko is blocked. Out on the ice is Christopoulos. He's got control of the puck, so great to see him back out there. He sends it down the ice. Petrov is chasing. Icing waved off as Petrov gets to the puck. He carries it down the far side boards. He finds Ko. Ko and Petrov looking for control of it as they're being pressured on the boards. The Greyhounds come in, break up the play, and it clears the zone. Back up ahead to Ko, and Ko is offside on that play. So 11 minutes exactly to go in the second period, and it's 2-2 in period number 2.
Again, no Mathurin. He's missed a couple of weekends now after being injured, and so Govro drawing in as the number 6D, playing with Simon Rose on that third pairing. So it'll be interesting what the Battalion do with their D leading up to the trade deadline. They want to improve their team depth, especially on the back end, but Govro's getting an opportunity here, which you're trying to take advantage of.
10:40 to play. The Greyhounds attacking. Dickinson with a shot for the point. That's wide of the net. Picked up behind the net by Lukin. Quick pass up to the blue line to Curry. Curry into the neutral zone for Arnsby. Spins and sends it down the ice. Played on the far side boards. It's Holmes. He gets knocked down hard by Josh Curry. But the Greyhounds end up with a puck around on the near side. Kept in the zone by Sema as he dumps it in. Played around to the far side boards. Getting to the puck first is Brostowski. He gets hit. The Battalion get a shot. Turned aside by Tynan. Christopoulos with a chance. Sends it on front and turned aside by Tynan again. Dickinson picks it up with 10 minutes to play in the second, and he dumps it down into the North Bay zone. It's 2-2 here in the second period. Christopoulos with the puck for North Bay. He sends it out to the neutral zone to Outwater. Outwater chips it into the far side corner, followed by Romani, who moves it down the half boards to McQueen Spence. It's sent to the point around the end boards, played in the near side corner. Romani down to the point to Rose. Rose backhanded, deflected towards the net, and sent into the near side corner. And now the Battalion are going to get called for a high stick. The Battalion player, I believe it was Romani, was just trying to deflect the puck down. Check that it was Outwater, but he got his stick up a little high, and he's going to the box.
Well, yeah, that was a strange call. It wasn't. There was no attempt to get in someone's face or anything. It was just trying to make contact with the puck and didn't work out. So we're going to take a break. Let's go to Jamie with her mid-period report.
Yeah, I'm here instead of Derek this period, who's exploring, getting some footage for us. Coming up in the second period, we're going to break down this period. Of course, a goal apiece. Same kind of thing that happened in the first period with the Battalion scoring first and the Greyhounds bouncing back pretty quickly. And we'll update you as well on what's going on in the league this evening. Only one other game, the Steelheads and the Peets. But we'll definitely update you on that as well, and we'll get you ready for the third period.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Great report, and I hope Derek finds himself. Apparently Derek's lost, so hope he makes his way back to the booth for the second intermission. But this is a big power play, Matt, obviously. Both teams very productive on the power play, right? So an important penalty kill as Rebedek's a little slow in getting back to his spot, but we're all ready to go here. Big power play and big penalty kill.
Couple of players collapse on the dot in the face-off circle, and it's now cleared out of that area and cleared down the ice. Ko is out there on the penalty kill, and Ko steals the puck. He sets it up in front of the net to Arnsby, and Arnsby on the backhand fires it wide of the net, but he was clipped at the end of that play. So again, it's a high sticking call against Outwater, which is unfortunate. That young line was playing well up until that penalty was called. The Greyhounds with a shot on net, blocker save made by Verbedek. It goes into the near side corner. North Bay looking to clear, kept in the zone, played down low, back out in front, turn aside, shot from the right side, Cairns, and it's wide of the net. Picked up off the boards by Arnsby, and it's sent down the ice. Bob, that opening pair for the forwards on the penalty kill were Arnsby and Ko. Interesting choice there by Ryan Olahan with 8:30 to play.
Yeah, they both kill penalties, but I don't know if they've been playing together, but they're two veterans, and that's what they need at this time, the veterans to lead the way here when they're shorthanded.
Your overage trainer captain see what they can do. And they did have a scoring chance, but couldn't convert on it. Now 8:15 to play in the second period. It's 2-2. The Battalion down by a man for another 35 seconds as the Greyhounds move the puck into the zone. On the near side boards, they play it down the point. Holmes, big slap shot, wide of the net. Rebound chance on the right side, turned away as well, and then cleared out of the zone by the Battalion.
Well, I don't know who the Greyhounds player there was. He went down for about 5 seconds, like he'd been shot, waiting to draw the call.
And then didn't get it.
And then he got up, made a great pass, and led to a scoring chance. So he wasn't that hurt, I don't think.
North Bay get the puck out of the zone again. Outwater is out of the box. Back to 5-on-5 play with 7.5 to go in the second period. It's 2-2 as the Greyhounds go to regroup.
Outwater a silver medal at the U17 event, the Capital City Classic in Ottawa.
Here come the Greyhounds. Boudreau across the zone. Big save made by Verbetic, stoning that attempt from the Greyhounds. And another chance they made. A third chance, and the shot is wide as the puck came right to the slot area. Arsby gets it out of the zone with 7 minutes to play in the second. It's a 2-2 tie, but the Greyhounds very close to inching ahead there. They send it down the ice. It's off a body on the Greyhounds bench, so that will blow the play down with 6:54 to play.
And that's what you get with Joe Verbetic. You know, that's something they haven't had in recent years here. That goalie who makes the timely big save. Here they are, the Battalion are up 2-1. The Greyhounds tie it. The Sioux dominating on the power play. Great chance. And Verbetic with 3 or 4 nice stops, keeping the game tied. So as the great Wayne Gretzky says about Grand Fuhrer, it's not if Grand Fuhrer makes saves, it's when he makes them. And that was one of those big saves by Verbetic. Keeps the game tied, enabled the Battalion to kill a penalty.
And now the officials having a discussion, not sure what it might be about here. Bob, any inkling there?
Are they looking back to see if there was a goal scored? That's the they're talking to the Greyhounds. Now both captains are there, or team representatives. Winslow for North Bay, Cairns for the Hounds. I don't know if they're looking at whether a play was, the puck was in the net or not during that play involving Verbetic. That's the only thing I could think of.
Well, whatever it is, they are reviewing it. They're going upstairs. And we're waiting to see. There's quite a bit of confusion here on press row.
Yeah, they got the tablets out, trying to figure out what went down. So they're looking at a replay of some kind, right? That's something that wasn't called or wasn't whistled down, whether it was a goal or an infraction or something. It would have to be a goal that it wasn't a goal on the ice, but they're looking at it to say maybe it was a goal.
And you know, we know that the strong point for the OHL's officials is definitely communication with the press box. So we know that is a strong point in the OHL, right? So we're definitely going to get an explanation up here. See, that's the frustrating thing is
our PA guy, he just put his arms up going, I have no idea what's going on. So
because he would like to at least tell the in-ring crowd whether it's what the delay is for, what they're reviewing, if it's a goal, if they're reviewing a particular play that could be penalized in any way.
Well, they're telling the Greyhounds, which means I'm guessing that it's not going to count. There's no goal. That's what I'm guessing. They're not talking to the Battalion, so I guess the linesman pointed to center ice, indicating that I guess we have to drop the puck at center ice. We're guessing right now. We don't know. No one's told us. And usually, if it's something controversial, the OHL guys up here, they'll be looking at a monitor, looking at a replay if it's a time issue. So,
but they're not looking at anything.
No, they're not. So we really don't know what's going on. So
Your guess is as good as ours, folks. Now, I know last weekend there was a lot of controversy in the way the game in Niagara was officiated. So
now they're going to the battalion bench.
And so, I think that if there's anywhere that there can be some improvement with the product, it's situations like this.
Yeah, just get on there and and explain to people they're reviewing a play in front of the North Bay net in which the puck may cross the line. That's all they would have had to say, and then and obviously you'd have to fix the clock, and they're pointing to center ice, Matt. And apparently it's still 2-2. Well, Matt, that's 5 minutes.
5 minutes of my life
I was thinking the same thing. They've just shortened the game to 55 minutes. And Brian, people up here are going, I still don't know what happened.
That was useless. Here we go. Playback underway. 6:40 to go, and it's a 2-2 game. The Greyhounds down the ice. Up ahead, Karche with the shot just wide on the glove side against Verbetic. Puck picked up in the far side corner. The Greyhounds still in control. They move it down the half boards, now across to the near side. Kalisti shot, save made. Rebound picked up by North Bay and cleared. Petrov has it down the ice on the left wing side. He's one-on-one into the zone. He drops it back to Russell. Russell to the front of the net. Shot save made, and the rebound turned aside. Big hit by Russell at the end of the play as he absolutely knocks down Kluche. Now Kalisti without a stick is going after Russell, and there's no call. And Russell is shoved hard in the boards by Petrov. Now Kalisti, again with no stick, is punching Petrov in the gut. The officials finally get in the way with 5:58 to go in the second period, and it's Petrov who's going to the box. Kalisti didn't have his stick. He went after Mitchell Russell. And I don't think he's going to get... Oh, maybe he is getting called here. Okay.
You're going to send someone with him. That's... No way is that a power play on anybody. Russell is very aggressive, though, right? He started with the
but it was a clean hit here.
Yeah, it was a clean hit. No, I'm not arguing that. It's just I think that started the whole. Remember, Matt, we got to remember. Although it's the Sioux, this is the fourth meeting.
Fourth time.
These guys do not like each other. I mean, they make them take 5-hour bus trips to play each other. So there's a rivalry here developing, which you normally don't see. Normally you'd play each other, what?
Four times,
yeah. And no back-to-backs.
And that's it, yeah.
They've held the back-to-back already. There will be another back-to-back in the new year in North Bay, so between these clubs. So there is a rivalry here, and the refs have let the players go a little tonight, and some players have taken advantage of it. So we're getting offsetting minor penalties is what we're getting.
Yeah, the Battalion are 1-2 against the Greyhounds so far this year. The last time they met was on October 23rd. It was a 4-2 win for North Bay. The night just before that, it was an 8-5 loss for the Battalion. So, again, 1-2 with all three previous games happening in the Sioux. The next three games, tonight included, are going to take place here in North Bay. Here come the Greyhounds. They play towards the net, deflected away by Nelson. And the Battalion looking to get the puck out of the zone. They get it up to the line, but it's turned over. Coming in is, I believe that was Montroy on the far side. He plays it to the front of the net, turned aside by Verbetic. And he gives the puck to Arnsby, and Arnsby just holds it in front of his net. The Greyhounds clear the zone, and now North Bay comes down the ice. Nelson down the right wing side, gets behind the defense. Nelson to the front of the net, but he can't bury it. What a play by the rookie defender, Ty Nelson. 5 minutes to go in the period, and here come the Greyhounds. Karche in the zone takes a shot and rips it past Verbetic, and the Greyhounds take a 3-2 lead.
And that was a goal scorer's goal. That was a ripper there from just above the circles between them, and he buries it. Verbetic never saw it. It was so quick. Cartier's he's got a great shot, and he had a chance there as he came in and he had lots of room and he just zipped it by Verbetic, and 4-on-4, Matt. I think the Greyhounds obviously with the edge on 4-on-4 because one of North Bay's special players is serving the penalty in Petrov, but it's a big goal by the Greyhounds. The Battalion now have to come from behind.
The league's leading goal scorer, Ty Cartier, with his 21st of the season. And he gives the Greyhounds their first lead of the night. It's 3-2. 4:40 to play in the second, with 35 seconds to go on those offsetting minors. And the Greyhounds on the attack again. Dickinson to the point. Holmes feeds it across the blue line. Kept in the zone by Berstowski. Still held on those far side boards by the Greyhounds. The Greyhounds players knocked over, and that allows the Battalion to get control of the puck, and they get it out of the zone. Russell in the neutral zone, moving up over the blue line. Pass attempt to Coe, doesn't get there, and now the Greyhounds in control. They'll go the other way. Down the right wing side, the shot comes in, stopped, punched away by Verbetic, and cleared to the half boards. Out of the box are Petrov and Kalisti. Puck in the neutral zone now as it's back to 5-on-5. And it's controlled by the Greyhounds. They send it down the ice. It gets past the stick of Vignosa, and that will be icing against the Greyhounds with 3:42 to play in the second.
So the Battalion have a big stretch here down the stretch here in the second, as they've given up the last 2 goals in this one and trail it 3-2, and got to get that momentum back on their side, win some face-offs and control the puck in the Sioux zone. That's what the Greyhounds have done in this period, Matt. They've been able to really have space in the North Bay zone, as the game's been basically more in the North Bay end than the Sioux end in this period. North Bay needs some zone time, I think, and sort of try to grind out some shifts, cycle down low, and make these Greyhounds pay for the long bus trip.
3:38 to play. Face off inside the Greyhound zone. They win it back to Winslow. Over to Nelson. Big shot save made by the goaltender Tynan. What a shot from Nelson. Now the Greyhounds on the counterattack. They get one in towards Verbetic, but it's turned aside. 3:20 to go as North Bay clear. It's down the ice. Arnsby can't catch up to it. In the neutral zone. Curry has it. Plays it back for Winslow. Winslow across to Nelson. Nelson looking down his right wing. It's through the neutral zone, deflected by Sema, and then a late icing call against the Battalion, as I guess it wasn't deflected by Sema going into the zone.
What a shot by Ty Nelson. A couple of times tonight he's just ripped it from his spot at the blue line, and the one was blocked and the other one got through, and there was a sharp looking save by Tucker Tynan there, that second one. So Nelson getting a rep as one of the hardest defenseman shooters in the OHL.
Rory Cairns, who came into the game with the 3rd most assists in the league. He's got one on all 3 Sioux goals tonight, so he's up to 29 assists in the league. 29 assists on the season, which is 2nd most in the league now.
Yeah, he's been among the scoring leaders along with Coe and Petrov all year.
That's right. 2:30 to play in the second period. North Bay down 3-2. The Greyhounds with their first lead of the night, courtesy of that Cartier goal. And it's Kalisti bringing it back into the North Bay zone. His shot wide of the net, and now he gets tied up in the corner with Christopoulos. That allows Lukin to come in and get the puck. And Lukin skates behind his own net. Now he leaves it on the near side for Christopoulos. Christopoulos gets it out to the neutral zone, but it's taken away quickly by the Greyhounds. And the Greyhounds turn and fire it and send it right back down the ice. Christopoulos racing towards it and will get the benefit of the icing call. So with 2:01 to play, North Bay looking for the equalizer. They've got the offensive zone draw coming up.
Yeah, and this is where the matchups get really interesting, right? Late in periods, late in games. Battalion down a goal. They send out their big line. Nelson on the back end, so along with Winslow. So a chance for North Bay to tie the game, but they don't win the draw.
And it's cleared quickly by the Greyhounds. Dentino on the left wing side. Plays it around to the far side boards. Picked up there by North Bay, and it's cleared down the ice, and this will be an icing call against the Troops. With 1:43 to go in the second, it's a 3-2 game, and after all that excitement halfway through the second period, it's kind of gone into a bit of a lull now, as neither team is really taking exception to any play. They're just riding the motions here.
Yeah, it's sort of quieted down, right? But both teams, Matt, are not what I would say physical teams to begin with. They're more skating teams, more finesse type teams. Yes, they do have players that'll get involved with physical play, but overall, I think their strengths are their skating, and so that's why the game goes in stretches where one team gets lots of chances and then the other.
1:39 to go. Face off inside the North Bay zone. It's won by the Troops. Picked up by Nelson and flipped up out into the neutral zone. Chasing it back is Kalisti. He picks it up in front of his own net for the Greyhounds and fires it right back down the ice. Racing towards it is Winslow. He'll get there and sends it on the right side boards to Van Steensel, who flips it back around the near side for Winslow. He comes down his right side boards, sends it down the left wing side for Van Steensel, going in the zone. Van Steensel tries a toe drag, but didn't work, and now the Greyhounds complete a pass going the other way. Karche into the zone. He finds Dickinson, who goes to the half boards. He's tied up there with Coe, and now Podolou comes in, steals the puck, gets it to the far side, and cleared down the ice. Holmes will chase it for the Greyhounds with under a minute to play in the second, and he clears it up to the neutral zone. It's tipped by Boudreau and sent into the North Bay end. Govro behind the net, sends it around the near side for Wakely. Up ahead to Podolou. Podolou coming down the right wing side with some speed. Podolou towards the net, backhands it. It's deflected off the side of the net and then to the far side boards. Picked up there by the Greyhounds. They can't clear. Good check at the line. Up to Wakely. Wakely coming in, shoots, and it's high over the net and out of play with 25 seconds to go. It's a 3-2 Greyhounds lead.
Well, good shot by Podolou, and Wakely is on that line. Van Steensel's on that line. So I think if you ask the coaches, put them under truth serum, which is the line that's going to develop that balanced scoring, I think it's that line. They're all young players, but they all have shown a lot of skill, and so that's the line I think we're going to have to watch in the second half of the year to see if the battalion can find that balanced scoring they're looking for.
Sent down the ice, icing called against the Greyhounds, and so it'll go back the other way. No, now they're pointing to center ice. So
yeah,
the Greyhounds argued that their player was ahead to which should have negated the hybrid icing, and now they're getting the benefit of the doubt here.
You're sure about that?
No.
Okay, just
I'm not sure of anything right now. Sent down the ice into the North Bay zone. Lukin in control of the puck in front of his own net, plays it to the corner, and now it's sent around to the far side boards. Curry can't get it out with 5 seconds to go. The Greyhounds have control of it on the far side boards, but they're being pressured by the battalion. Time has run out, and we'll head to the locker rooms after 40 minutes with the visitors ahead. It's 3-2 for the Greyhounds. That period of battalion hockey was brought to you by Northern Wood Customs. Available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram and tell them you heard this ad on the Battalion Game Day broadcast, and you can save 10% on your next order. That's Northern Wood Customs on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, Matt, and 3-2 the score. Some chatting as Liam Arnsby skated to the battalion bench there at a couple of the Greyhounds, so maybe we will have a feisty, testy third period in a game that the Greyhounds lead 3-2. Here's Derek.
Yes, after 2 periods of play, the Sioux Greyhounds lead by a score of 3-2. Scoring in that second period, Josh Curry got the battalion a 1-goal lead on a power play at 3:17. Rose and Winslow picking up assists on the Josh Curry power play goal before Robert Kalisti, with his 10th on the season, even things up at 8:06 from Kearns and Toms before Ty Cartier gave the Sioux Greyhounds their first lead of the game, 3-2 at 14:54. His 21st goal of the season to lead the league. Picking up assists were Rory Kearns and Connor Toms. Pretty even in the stat category besides the score, as shots are tied at 17 apiece in the second period. Sioux Greyhounds 9 for a total of 17. Battalion 7 for 17. Face-offs again dead even at 19 apiece. Power plays, North Bay Battalion 2 for 3, and the Sioux Greyhounds 1 for 3. Only one other game going on around the OHL tonight, and that is in Peterborough, where the Mississauga Steelheads and the Peterborough Petes are deadlocked at 1 through 2 periods of play. Let's bring in Jamie McKee. Jamie, quick thoughts on that second period.
Definitely very, very physical. Lots of penalties and lots of big bodies thrown around there on the ice. And like Bob mentioned, that Sault Ste. Marie goal was a pure goal scorer's goal. Obviously, the second goal was a little bit more of a fluke, but that third goal, very, very nice shot. I don't know how impressed the battalion are with their play that period. I'm sure they can pick it up for the last 20 minutes of play here and walk away with hopefully 2 points.
Yeah, I had the privilege to stand behind the North Bay Battalion goal there for most of the second period, and unfortunately, both of those goals by the Greyhounds I'm not going to blame Joe Verbetic on those. The second goal, it was a bounce off of a player in front that changed directions really quickly. And then the shot by Cartier, what a shot, using the defender as his screen. Verbetic didn't even make a move before it tickled the twine there, putting up the Greyhounds 3-2. That's where we stand through 40 minutes of play. A little bit of a second period feature here in the intermission. We're going to take a look around the OHL as Matt Sukram caught up with Mark Perry earlier this week.
All right, so pleased to be joined as always with our buddy from down in Kitchener. It's Mark Perry. Mark, how you doing this week?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great to be back in the arena. It's been a while. The battalion have been on a 5-game road trip. They played really well over those 5 games. And one of the players in particular that played really well is Brandon Coe, not just over the 5 games. He's had an impressive season. And to mark that impressive season, he gets to sign his first NHL contract. So he signed with the team that drafted him, the San Jose Sharks. And really, he's done everything they could have asked for him to do up to this point in the year. He's the league leader in points. What else do you want out of your OA guy if you are the North Bay Battalion? But Mark, my question to you is he the league MVP this year?
I would say probably top 5, top 3 maybe. I mean, there's still a couple of guys that I have been eyeing, but I mean, Brandon Coe definitely up there. I mean, as you mentioned, Matt, league leader in points, 13-game point streak at this point in time. I mean, among the league leaders in power play goals. I mean, you think about the transition from what he has experienced in the last few years. Of course, playing on a better team, of course, with a lot with different players now. I mean, such a huge transition. Just looking at the plus minus. I mean, you think about his minus 24 in the year that was cut short due to COVID. Now, as we record this, plus 17. At this point. But you think about guys like Emmett Sproul over in Peterborough. I mean, he's riding a 20-game point streak right now. He's looking phenomenal. Down just the 401 from here, Brett Brochu, who I just got to see, less than 24 hours ago playing for the London Knights. I mean, among the league leaders in both goals against average and save percentage. I mean, you never know what could happen if he ends up, getting to see some time playing in-game action at the World Juniors. Of course, Dylan Garan is going to have something to say about that in the Team Canada net. But I mean, between Brochu, between Coe, between Sproul, I think those are probably my top 3 at this point in time. Anything is possible because, I mean, we're just getting up to the end of the first half of the regular season. But I mean, Brandon Coe, with the season that he has had so far, I mean, he is definitely in the running to get the league MVP this year.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned him, Dylan Garand, possibly getting the nod as the 2021 World Junior Canadian starting goaltender. Let's talk about the news that came out. The selection camp roster is out there. Some notable names on there is Owen Power, who's the #1 NHL draft pick in 2021. The projected 2022 #1 draft pick, Shane Wright, is on that roster. But guys like Brant Clark were left off that roster. Quinton Byfield not on that roster, although he is dealing with an injury. Just your take on some of the names that are on there and any surprises when you saw that initial roster.
I wouldn't say surprises, but definitely the snubs were probably the most surprising. I mean, you mentioned Brant Clark, who's having a great year this season, the LA first rounder. Brennan Othman with the Flint Firebirds. That's another big omission that I think Team Canada. But I mean, you really can't go wrong. I mean, we talk about this year after year where Team Canada comes out with these rosters, and some years you could literally make an entire second roster out of quality players in the CHL with Team
That's
Canada.
right.
I mean, that's just how much talent we have in this country. But I mean, I look down the list. I mean, Cole Perfetti's on that list, which I really like. I mean, he's one of 3 returnees. You mentioned Shane Wright, Mason McTavish. I mean, the start of the season that he had with Anaheim, getting to go over to come back with Peterborough. To see what he can do to tear up the OHL before making that jump full time. And maybe a little bit of a bias in me, but another guy that comes to mind is Donovan Sabrango, who is playing in Grand Rapids, the affiliate for the Detroit Red Wings. Of course, he was one of the final cuts at the World Junior Camp a year ago, and I'm really interested to see what he can do on the back end in camp and possibly see what he can do at the World Juniors.
Absolutely. And back to the focus on the OHL. The league had to shut down some teams and rescheduled some games because some teams were dealing with an excessive amount of players that had COVID-related symptoms. How do you think the league has handled this? You knew that it could probably be a factor going into the season. And how do you think it affects those teams going forward?
I think they've done a really good job, the league has, in terms of trying to get ahead of the game, making sure that, once you start seeing these cases come up, do what needs to be done. Put in the postponements of the games like we saw with Sudbury, like we've seen recently with Peterborough as well. It's one of those unfortunate things that we do have to deal with this year with COVID still being our reality. I mean, you're going to run into situations like this. Every league is experiencing this, from the OHL all the way up to the NHL. It will play a factor, I think, when you consider the fact that when you have rescheduled games, you might have a second half that might be a little bit more loaded. You might see a couple extra 3-and-3 weekends. You might see a couple of extra weekday games. I mean, that does play a factor when it comes to how much time teams have to rest in between games, and how that it could impact the standings in the regular season. But that is unfortunately the reality that we do have to deal with. But overall, I think for all things considered, the OHL has done a great job in trying to get ahead of the game and protecting its players.
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing, is protecting these kids in these scary situations. All right, Mark, thanks so much for your comments. As always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks a lot to Mark Perry and Matthew Sukram taking us around the OHL, as Jamie McKee singing us back in here after that lovely feature. Thanks a lot again to Mark Perry and Matt Sukram.
Voice of an angel.
Talking about features, one of the best things with the Frontline broadcast is the North Bay Battalion, the Frontline podcast, which you can go to any of your favorite podcast media outlets, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcast, and give the Frontline podcast a subscribe, where you can automatically set up downloads so that whenever a new episode comes out, it'll be right there in your podcast library. I know I had a great listen today to Mackenzie Campbell as he discussed what goes into being an equipment manager here with the North Bay Battalion, and talking about how one of the hardest players on sticks was Ty Nelson, how he's got to be ready to have sticks ready for him at any given notice, as he's broken many throughout this year, and that he's still learning about the goaltenders' Dom DeVincentis being one of the harder players for him, but favorite players to deal with. Always great listen. Courtney Kenny, Tom Parise do a great job with the Frontline podcast. Well, Jamie, down 1 going into the third period of play. Now what's Ryan Houlihan's message?
Yeah, obviously I don't think they got the period that they were expecting or wanting there, but 20 minutes to go. I know there was a lot of penalties and some rough stuff going on there, so I think if they can stay out of the box, maybe even draw a penalty or two and keep the puck out of their own end. Obviously they're better when the puck is on the other side of the blue line. And the top line's been pretty quiet this evening. I know obviously Houlihan is encouraging spreading that offense out, but when your big line isn't producing as often as they typically do, obviously that's why sometimes they're not putting up as many goals as they would like to, right?
Yeah, talking about goals, both goals for the Battalion tonight have been on the power play. They're 2 for 3 on that power play. Just not getting those opportunities with 5-on-5 play. Next home game for the North Bay Battalion will be Sunday afternoon, December 12th. The Barrie Colts are in town to take on the Battalion at 2 p.m. start as it's Indigenous Youth Day here. Join the Battalion as they recognize Indigenous youth in and around North Bay and our neighboring First Nation communities. There will be a special pregame ceremony featuring Nipissing First Nation Chief Scott McLeod and our Mayor Al McDonald. Information booth, prizes, and much more to be won at the game. Indigenous Youth Day is about fostering pride and building relationships, bringing people together through sport to create lasting memories and friendships, highlighting the importance of community and supporting the development of our youth. Show your support by wearing an orange shirt to that game. Every child matters. And then Thursday, December 16th, it's the annual North Bay Teddy Bear Toss brought to you by the Brick North Bay. That will be Thursday, December 16th, 7 p.m. as the visiting Niagara Ice Dogs make a trip to the Gardens. Buy a Brickley the Bear teddy bear at the game and toss it on the ice when the Battalion score their first goal of the game. $20 each, with the proceeds going to the Children's Miracle Network, plus $10 will be donated to the North Bay Santa Fund. Fans can also bring their own teddy bear wrapped in plastic as well. A $1,000 and a $500 shopping spree will be won as well. Visit the Brick North Bay table in the main lobby for more details. And then closing out the calendar year, Friday, December 31st, 1 p.m., Oshawa Generals are in town to take on the North Bay Battalion. Subway New Year's Day game. Join the Battalion for this traditional New Year's Eve Day game sponsored by Subway. Gift cards, T-shirts, plus much more to be won by the Troops Game Day sponsor, Subway. Proud corporate sponsors of your North Bay Battalion. Quite an interesting look at the rest of the year. As I said in the previous intermission, a busy weekend for the North Bay Battalion. After tonight, they'll have a day off tomorrow before playing a home-and-home against the Barrie Colts. We'll be in Barrie to bring you that broadcast. It's a 7:30 start in Barrie at the Saddle-On Arena. Courtney Kenny and myself, Derek Lindeman, will have the call of that game, and we'll have our very talented producer Ben Long with us. And then on Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m., the Barrie Colts make the trip back up here to North Bay to finish off that home-and-home back end 2 p.m. start. We'll have that call for you again on the Frontline Game Day broadcast. Jamie, we haven't talked too much about a rivalry game. You know, the Sioux, North Bay, it happens a lot in minor hockey. You play against the Sioux a lot growing up, and now we're seeing it in the OHL level. What's the atmosphere here inside this arena?
Yeah, I don't know the exact word for it, but like Bob said in the period there, these two teams do not like each other, and that is very obvious. Back and forth all night, very, very, very aggressive. Physical, I guess, would be a better term. Like we've seen quite a few penalties, quite a few scrums after whistles, and just because they don't play each other 10, 11 times this year, they've got each other's numbers and names, and they know who each other are, that's for sure.
So the first 3 times these two teams met were up in the Sioux. Sioux getting 2 of those 3 victories up there. They're going to meet tonight and then 2 more times again in February on a back-to-back games right here in North Bay. Always looking very impressive and a great battle to have between these 2 great top-notch clubs.
Absolutely. I think these are only previews of what's going to continue. Like you just mentioned, there is 2 more games come 2022, but we still got 20 minutes to go here, and like we've all said, these two teams do not like each other. Shots are even. The Greyhounds are only up by 1, but both teams have had plenty of chances, and I'm sure it's going to be an exciting final period here.
We're just moments away from puck drop in the third period, so let's go up and hear all of the action for the third period from Bob Coles and Matt Sukram.
Thank you very much, Derek and Jamie. Both great in their comments in that second period. And it should be a whale of a third period, a little feistiness as the second period ended. Let's see if that translates here in the third. And just emphasizing, in a normal year, they'd made 4 times, and those games would be scattered throughout the season. But this is their 4th meeting already this year. And you know, we're not even near the halfway mark. So there is some familiarity, and familiarity breeds contempt. North Bay, for example, has played Mississauga once. This is the 4th game against the Greyhounds. So even though it's not a divisional matchup, and usually it's not a big rivalry, I think that's a little bit different this year, and some of that is reflected on the ice. Power plays have been huge in this one. North Bay's goals with the man advantage, as Derek and Jamie told you, and the Greyhounds have been better 5-on-5, and that's really the difference. Another big difference is the top lines. The Greyhounds guys are getting points. North Bay really struggling their top line, and it's really typically not their top line because it's Mitchell Russell on this line and not Kyle Jackson as we begin the third, Matt.
And Russell playing center when he normally is a wing.
Yeah.
On that second line. So here we go, third period underway. The Greyhounds attacking. Cloutier was right there, but he fanned on the shot. But he plays it back down to the point across to the near side. Dickinson's shot, save made, and the rebound kick to the far side boards. It's sent off the boards and out of the zone. And there's a delayed call coming up here against the North Bay Battalion as Tynan has left the net. Petrov touches the puck way deep into the Greyhound zone, and that will send Coe to the box. Cross-checking is the call. And, well, if it wasn't big to kill a 5-on-3 in the second, it's going to be a big deal to kill a 5-on-4 early on in the third, Bob.
You always do a double take with the Greyhound saying it looks like 4-on-4, right? But it was actually 5-on-5, and to start the period, it's just they have a way with their speed to create that extra room, and North Bay, as a result, gets a penalty, and now Battalion have a must-kill here, down a goal in the third.
Karen's shot deflected by Cartier. It's off a stick and out of play. And to your point, Bob, for the 8 years that we've been calling Battalion hockey here, the Greyhounds have never not had a fast team.
No, every year they draft those players, they recruit those players. It's helped them get some imports as well over the years. You know, you think of, and they've had so many talented players, and yeah, the speed and the way they play.
Next
Very
break,
attractive.
I'll tell you about my favorite feature about the Sioux. Here come the Greyhounds on the attack here with 1:30 to play on the power play. To the right side, Karen's down to the point to Kudratsev across the left side. The shot just goes wide of the net. Rebound out in front of the net and cleared down the ice. In the SR Center in Sault Ste. Marie, if it's still called that, I'm not sure. The Greyhounds have a wall outside their locker room, and it's full from ceiling to floor of guys that have played in Sault Ste. Marie that have gone on to the NHL. Names like Wayne Gretzky and Ron Francis, Joe Thornton, and the list goes on.
Jeff Carter?
I mean, like I said, the list just goes on. It is impressive to see. And so far, this Battalion penalty kill has been pretty impressive. There's 40 seconds remaining on it as they clear the puck down the ice once again. 2 minutes to go. Let's check that. 2 minutes gone in the period with 30 seconds to go in the North Bay Battalion penalty kill. They're down 3-2 to the Greyhounds here in the third as the Greyhounds dump it into the North Bay zone. Played on the near side corner, down to the near side. Kalisti across to the middle. Back to Kalisti. Winds up, fires, save made as Joe Verbetic gets the pads down, and it's cleared down the ice.
Now, Matt, my favorite thing about the Sioux is the hotel you stay at. You actually walk from the hotel room to the rink because it's right next to the rink.
Here come the Greyhounds, play right in front, all alone in front of the net, and Verbetic denies him. It was the league's leading scorer, Ty Karche, with a point-blank chance in behind the defense, and Verbetic robs him. And the Battalion now looking to reward their goaltender as they attack in the offensive zone. Play behind the net, Petrov has it. He gets pulled down, no call there as the Greyhounds get it and clear it out of the zone. 3 minutes gone in the third. North Bay down 3-2 to the Greyhounds. The Battalion 3-5-0 this season when trailing after the second period. And that's the situation they find themselves in now. Here comes Mignosa with a shot. Save made into the chest of Verbetic, and he holds on to it for stoppage in play with 3:20 gone. And it looks like the Greyhounds are going to get penalized for some infraction after the whistle.
Yeah, I think there was a high stick or a slash at Verbetic right after the whistle, and the Battalion players went over there. That's a case, I think, Matt, of if the Battalion players don't go over there and have something to say to the Greyhounds, I don't think they call that as a penalty. So the Greyhounds just went beyond the whistle there, and they pay for it. So that could be a turning point here. And Verbetic, remember, got those 3 or 4 big saves when they were shorthanded. And he's so important to this team, comes up big, and now they get to back up their goalie by tying the game on the power play.
And the power play is brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details. Rose off the draw, down to Winslow, across to the right side, back down to Winslow in the middle. The shot, save made by the netminder Tynan. Played around to the far side boards. It is Carlisle picking it up for the Greyhounds, and they dump it out quickly. North Bay brings it right back into the zone. It's Curry to the net. His shot blocked way up in the air. Comes down in the slot, but it's cleared away by the Greyhounds and sent down the ice with 4 minutes gone in the third. North Bay down 3-2. Another minute 20 on the power play as the top unit gets out there. It's Russell, makes a move, gets around to one defender, sends it over to Arnsby, but Arnsby can't get the shot off. He follows the puck to the boards. Arnsby battling for it. They get it away from him and send it down the ice. Nelson chasing behind his own net. He gets it from Verbetic. Now he heads up the ice with some speed. Ty Nelson, big windup, fakes a shot, gets around the defense, plays it to the slot. It's off the side of the net, picked up by the Greyhounds and sent down the ice. 4.5 gone with 45 seconds to go on the North Bay power play. Their third of the game. And they bring it into the zone, and it's cleared. Check that, their fifth of the game. As Russell has it now in the corner. Sends it around to the near side for Petrov. Petrov walking back to the goal line. Feeds it across to the far side to Coe. Coe behind the net to Arnsby. Around on the near side, Petrov. Petrov across to the right side, Coe with time winding down on the man advantage. Coe sends it across the slot, but it missed everybody. Off the near side boards, Petrov tries to feed it in the corner. That got blocked and cleared down the ice, and that will effectively end the Battalion power play. 5:20 gone in the third period. North Bay down 3-2, and we're back to 5-on-5. Coe from his own zone gets it out to the neutral zone to Outwater. He backhands it into the near side corner in the Greyhound zone, but it's the Greyhounds on top of the puck first, and they will quickly carry it out. McConnell Barker down the ice. Plays it to the net. Bouncing puck, and Verbetic has to play it away from Mignosa, who is coming in late into the play. North Bay now carrying the puck out. It's Lukin down the right wing side. Chips it over the blue line. It's Romani with it. Plays it to the boards to Lukin. Lukin across the blue paint to Christopoulos. He fires it. It's off a stick and over the glass and out of play. 6:02 gone in the third. North Bay down 3-2.
So both penalty killing units come up big here in the third period. First the Battalion and then the Greyhounds. Both kill off important power plays for the other team, and the Greyhounds still up 3-2, and 22-20 the shots. So both goalies have been sharp here in the third period.
Here comes McKay down the ice for the Greyhounds. Pass across the slot. The shot, and it's just wide of the net. McKay picks it back up on the near side half boards. Played across to the right side. Coming in is Brostowski. His shot is wide of the net, and now after the play, there's a slash, and it's being called against Rory Care. Check that. Ethan Montroy. He goes to the box with 6:20 gone in the period, and North Bay now with their 6th power play of the game. Brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details.
Now, Matt, I've noticed the Greyhounds are getting better chances than North Bay, using their speed to create almost half breakaways, but now they're getting into penalty trouble, losing their cool, and North Bay didn't take advantage of the first penalty, but let's see if they can. This one's different because they got their number 1 unit to start the power play out there for Ryan Houlihan.
And off the draw, the Greyhounds try to clear it. Petrov catches it at the line, punches it down. The Battalion now in control, and another pass back is flipped up in the air. It comes down to the near side boards. A couple of players knocked down. Petrov gets back up, fires it to the far side boards. Coe there sends it to the blue line to Nelson. Across to the left side, Petrov. Back to the point to Nelson. To the right side, Coe sends it on net, and it's deflected wide. Petrov playing it back into the corner for Russell. Russell flips it back down to the point for Petrov. Petrov switches spots with Nelson. He gives it to Nelson. Shot net, save made. Arsby right there on the doorstep, can't bury it. Back to the point. Petrov shot right into the pads of Tynan, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play. 7:06 gone in the third. North Bay down 3-2 with 1:14 on the power play.
Lots of pressure by the Battalion. They look good on this power play. They're not transferring to a second unit, so they obviously want that goal now, as they're going to do the full 2 minutes, looks like.
The Battalion with control off the draw. To the point. Petrov makes a move to get some room. Across to the right side. Coe, his pass back across his block, but he gets that blocked pass back down to Nelson. Now to the right side to Coe. His shot blocked once again. He flips it around the end boards. Down to the point. It's Petrov there. Across to the right side. Nelson's shot in on net. And Tucker Tynan makes another save. 7:30 gone in the third. 3-2 Sioux lead. 50 seconds on the man advantage remaining for North Bay.
Another dangerous shot from the point by Ty Nelson, but again, no screen. And Tynan saw it easily and didn't give up the rebound. So not only did he stop it, he held on to it. And North Bay's going to have to be a little more aggressive in front of the net here.
Petrov off the draw, hard shot, and it's over the crossbar. Back down to the point. Petrov is there again. Skates into the left side circle, sends it on net, deflected, and they score! It's tipped by the captain, and Arnsby ties this game at 3.
And that's what we say. Liam Arnsby with the deflection. Yeah, you're going to have to do something in front of the net. Tynan seeing the puck so well. And the Battalion did it right there. And Liam Arnsby, a key guy. You know, we talk about his captain, his leadership with his physical play. But he also needs to chip in offensively, especially with Kyle Jackson not in the lineup. So he draws into the power play and gets a key goal for the Battalion to tie it up with 12:19 to go. So Liam Arnsby proving his value here in the power play.
That's goal number 7 on the season for the captain, his 35th career OHL point. And as we approach the 8-minute mark of the period, it's all tied up. 3-3 in the third. And now that the Battalion have been able to draw that one back, we'll see if they can retake the lead. Play in front of the net. Wakely's there, but he can't bury it past Tucker Tynan. And it's the Greyhounds getting the puck out of the zone, sending it down the ice. Played behind the net. Van Steensel is there to break up the play. He gets it up ahead to Christopoulos, and the defenseman leads the charge. Going down the left wing side, it's poked off his stick, and the Greyhounds go back the other way. Play in the neutral zone is broken up, and Romani ends up with the puck. Played back to Lukin behind the North Bay net. He comes out to the left side, finds McQueen Spence, who tips it up to the Greyhounds blue line, and now the Greyhounds have control, and they go the other way. Kluche to the left side. The shot on Verbetic is turned aside into the far side corner. A bit of a battle over there. Couple of players involved on either side. They're still digging away at it. In the corner, Dickinson sends it to the point. The shot deflected, and it bounces down to the near side boards. Picked up on the near side. The pass to the point is off the skate of Dickinson and cleared inadvertently by the Greyhounds. 10:45 to play in the third as they bring the puck back in. Petrov with the steal, sends it to Govro. Govro up to the blue line to Russell, who backhands it into the zone. 3-3 the score in the third as the Battalion now pressing. But the Greyhounds get control of the puck behind the net, and they clear it. Carried down into the North Bay zone. The shot towards the net is wide. Picked up on the near side by Coe. And as Coe touches it, slashing is going to be the call against Petrov. And so once again, special teams will be a big factor here as the Sioux Greyhounds are going to go on their 5th power play of the game.
Yeah, zero tolerance with the slashing calls in this period. North Bay got a benefit there, and they were able to tie up the game. Now the Greyhounds get one, and another must kill. North Bay's second penalty kill of the period. They were successful early in the period, and now they'll have to do it again to stay tied.
And the Battalion are able to clear it right off the draw, and it's Coe carrying it down the left wing side. He's going to try to go right in towards the net. Now he's pushed back to the outside, but Coe still maintains puck possession. It takes 3 guys to push him onto the boards, and they finally get the puck away from Brandon Coe. But the overager kills off the first 20 seconds of this power play, but now it's the Greyhounds in control as they move it into the North Bay zone. It's played down low to the far side. Now into the corner. Back to the point to Kudratsev. To the left side, Dickinson. Played right on net. Deflected into the glove of Verbetic. And he holds on to it for a save.
Little message sent by Joe Verbetic there saying, I'm pretty confident right now with my glove as he robs the Greyhounds. Talk about the Battalion. They've had some depth scoring in this one. Mitchell Russell getting a goal. He's usually on the second line, but that was a power play goal. And Liam Arnsby tying the game, usually not on the number 1 power play unit. So the depth scoring that Coach Houlihan talked about midweek has helped the Battalion as Coe and Petrov haven't picked up the offense tonight.
And Josh Curry getting that second goal. And now the Battalion, all 3 of their goals have come on the power play. And it's right now a Battalion penalty kill against the Greyhounds. Tied at 3 in the third. There's a shot from Cairns, and it's stopped by Verbetic. 50 seconds to go on this kill as Winslow has it and clears it down the ice. And Bob, like you said, I think the Greyhounds have outplayed the Battalion 5-on-5, but the Battalion have taken advantage of their power play advantages. They've tied this game now. They're in dire straits here in the next 35 seconds. Coming down the ice, the Greyhounds fire it, and they score. I believe that's Ethan Montroy that shot that puck, and it was an absolute bullet. Check that. That was Bryce McConnell Barker.
Yep, McConnell Barker
ripped that one. A power play goal for the Greyhounds, their second of the game, and it is a 4-3 lead for the Sioux.
I think we've seen 4 just beautiful goals in this game. That's another one, just ripping it past Verbetic. Both goalies have been sharp, and we've seen really four goals by goal scorers in this one. Curry's goal was probably North Bay's most artistic goal, and the Greyhounds have had a couple, so it's been a memorable game as far as nice goals. As we reach the midway mark of the third period, and let's get down our mid-period report. Here's Derek.
A pair of power play goals, one by each team, has not solved anything as the Sioux Greyhounds continue to lead the North Bay Battalions by 1 goal here. 4-3, the North Bay Battalion trail. Taking a look elsewhere in the OHLs, there's only one other game, and the Mississauga Steelheads are in Peterborough taking on the Petes, and that game is deadlocked at 1 apiece with 7 minutes left in the third period of play. Coming up in the postgame, the Long's Maple Syrup postgame, I'll be joined by Jamie McKee and Bob Coles to break down tonight's contest, and we'll try and get words from head coach Ryan Houlihan. Now for the excitement, action, and the finish of tonight's game, let's rejoin Matt Sukram and Bob Coles.
Thank you very much, Derek. Could be a wild last 9 minutes or so here in the third period with North Bay down a goal. They were up 2-1 after Curry scored, but the Greyhounds got 2 in a row before the second period was over. North Bay tied it in the third on a great deflection by Liam Arnsby, only to have the Greyhounds take the lead on the power play, and now they lead it 4-3, and it's going to be an interesting last 9 minutes. North Bay's going to have to be aggressive at some point offensively and start taking chances. The only problem is when you take chances against a Sumat, they can put it away. So it's going to be an interesting battle here down the stretch.
Yeah, it sure will be. And as he said, the Battalion have led twice, and now the Greyhounds have led twice, so should be a wild finish. The Battalion force a turnover in the Greyhound zone, but Wakely falls over, and that allows the Greyhounds to get the puck back down the ice. Shot comes in from Toms wide of the net. Played off the boards into the corner. The Battalion on the check. They come up with the puck, and it's Christopoulos down the other way on the left wing. Dumping it in. Played around to the half boards on the far side. Christopoulos with a shot for the point. It's off the upper body of Tynan and right into the slot, but then cleared away by the Greyhounds. 8 minutes to play. And too many men on the ice for the Greyhounds is going to result in a North Bay Battalion power play.
You know how funny that was, right? The fans were whistling on the too many men at the exact moment the referees called it. It was like perfect. It was like musical chairs. When you got to suddenly, one person's got to sit down and the other doesn't get there in time. That's what it was like. It was very funny, actually.
So that is Landon Hookie that is going into the box. Serving that one is John Dean, the coach of the Greyhounds, sends him over. So there's a shot, save made, and turned aside. Picked up on the near side boards by Russell. Pass across to the right side to Coe. Coe down to the point to Nelson. Nelson skates to the middle to the right side. Coe walking in. Makes a move. Puts it on net. Save made. Rebound chance is denied as well. Coe trying to pick up third chance. And it's cleared away by the Greyhounds and sent down the ice. So the Battalion with their sixth power play of the game, brought to you by Noah Strong. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details. The troops bring it back down the ice. Russell at the line. Lost it on the poke check. The Greyhounds go the other way. In behind the defense. The shot save made by Joe Verbetic as he turns it aside from Tyler Savard. The Battalion look to regroup here with a man advantage. They get it over the blue line. Across to the left side to Russell. Walking in, the shot save made by Tucker Tynan. 6:55 to go in the third. It's a 4-3 Greyhounds lead with 1:01 remaining on the North Bay power play.
Remember that save by Joe Verbetic. He came on the power play, and the Battalion still have a $1 left here on the too many men call. 6:55 to go, so lots of time.
Petrov off the draw, has it on the left side circle. Walking in, shot, save made. Deflected into the corner, picked up there by Coe. Coe sends it to the near side corner for Russell. He chips it down to the point for Petrov. Played to the middle to Nelson. Nelson walking in, shot, save made by Tynan and cleared down the ice by the Greyhounds. North Bay with 30 seconds remaining on the power play. Holding it in their own zone. Now they have the group out there that they want, and it's Winslow leading it down the ice. Winslow over the blue line, feeds it up ahead to Coe. Coe gets in front of the net again, but he fires it wide. Down to the point, Petrov has it. Petrov skates to the middle, now to the right side. His shot deflected off a skate. Winslow trying to catch up to it at the line, but it's just out of his reach. 1 second left, and we're back to 5-on-5 play as Hookie comes out of the box. 4-3 the score for the Greyhounds with 5:45 to play in the third. On the far side boards, it's Boudreau who has it for the Greyhounds. Trying to play it in front of the North Bay net. That's broken up. North Bay can't clear it though. kept in at the line. Now another play at the line. Sends the puck over the blue line, but the Greyhounds dump it in quickly, and it's played down by Verbetic. He leaves it for Curry. He skates out of the zone. Curry over the center ice line. Now over the blue line. He gets knocked off the puck, and the Greyhounds are able to clear. Shot right back in by Christopoulos into the corner, and holding it there is Kudratsev of the Greyhounds. He now carries it behind the net. Curry is pretty far down into the zone, but now he backs up as Kudratsev continues to hold it there. Now he finally comes out of the zone, and the Greyhounds turn it over at the line. Here comes Curry down the left wing side. It's off the blocker of Tynan and over the glass and out of play. 4:50 to go in the third period. North Bay down 4-3.
28th save of the night for Tucker Tynan, who's had to battle all by himself at times here in the third period against the Battalion, but just giving up the one power play goal. 24 saves for Joe Verbetic. So Tucker Tynan's been everything as advertised here after the big trade with Niagara.
Shot by Sema wide of the net. Picked up on the far side by Curry. He sends it in the corner for Arnsby. Arnsby knocked off the puck and cleared. 4.5 to play in the third period. The Greyhounds lead 4-3, and North Bay now called for icing, and so they'll have to win the defensive zone draw here.
Well, that's a very timely trade by the Greyhounds getting Tucker Tynan. They felt their goaltending needed to be better if they're going to take a run at the West title, as they've been battling London for top spot in the conference, and so and he's been very sharp tonight.
The Greyhounds win the draw, send it to the net, and Verbetic with a glove save.
And one of the Greyhounds got shaken up there on the face-off, and I think it's Cairns. Yeah, he's holding his face. I don't know what's going on there as he skates by himself to the bench, and
then has some words with the official before he leaves.
I'm sure they were complimentary. But I hope he's okay. He's one of their best players, and love to see him out there for sure. 4:24 left, Matt. So this is the time of the game where Battalion, got to think about the defensemen, got to think about rushing into the play more, just being aggressive. You don't have to totally sell the farm, but you've got to be aware of time and space.
And off the draw, they try to get a stretch pass down the ice for Coe, but the Greyhounds were aware of it, and they stopped it quickly. Shot back in the North Bay zone. North Bay clear it again quickly. Play in the neutral zone. The Greyhounds have control. They send it into the North Bay end. Picked up by Winslow. He goes to the right side boards, gets knocked down, can't clear. Here come the Greyhounds. Dickinson shot just wide of the net. Picked up on the near side by Petrov. He fires it to the far side boards for Coe. Coe up to the blue line. Sends it in the neutral zone for Russell. Russell carries it in on the left wing side at the half boards. Looking to play it in the corner now. He fights Coe. Coe in front to Petrov, around the defender, and he scores! Matvei Petrov buries it, and it's tied at 4.
Great pass by Brandon Coe, leads the league in OHL. Leads the OHL in assists for a reason. Got it to Petrov. He didn't shoot it. In years past, Coe might have shot in that situation. Passes it to Petrov, and Petrov, this is why he's been signed by the Edmonton Oilers, showed great patience, waited for the checker to slide by, and just really deposited past Tynan into the empty net. So, tell you, Matvei Petrov, what a story he's been, but great effort by Coe as well to make the right play, and the Battalion tie the game with 3:42 to go.
So Brandon Coe's point streak will continue. 14 games in a row with a point for him, while the North Bay Battalion Petrov has a point in 12 straight games. He had an assist earlier in the contest, make that 2 assists earlier in the contest, and now a goal to go along with that. 4-4 with under 4 to play in the third period. The North Bay Battalion have led twice, and they've come back to tie it twice. Here come the Greyhounds now on the attack. Cairns falls down on a point-blank chance, and now the Battalion will go the other way with the puck. Van Steensel up to the point. Podolou lost it, and it's sent down the ice. Christopoulos gets it quickly. A lot of guys coming in and off the benches here. Christopoulos finds an outlet pass to Sema. He carries it into the far side corner. Now he tries to center it, but the Greyhounds, they've got two guys around him there, and the Greyhounds will take the puck away, and they send it up to the blue line. Kalisti sends it into the North Bay zone. Now it's played behind the net. Arnsby's there, makes a nice check, a poke check to get the puck off the Greyhounds player behind the net, and Arnsby carries it right up to the Greyhounds blue line. He finds Sema. Sema's pass across the zone is blocked. Back out to the neutral zone. Nelson on the ice. He fires it in. Off the boards on the far side, it's Curry. Curry looking for control of the play. It's taken away by the Greyhounds. They send it around behind their own net. They find Khaleesi. Khaleesi dumps it down the ice, and it's touched by Nelson, and that will be icing called with 1:56 to play in the third period. It's 4-4.
The thing about the Sioux is they only know one way to play. So when they were up 4-3, they continue to attack. They don't play that sort of send one guy in and four guys back or anything. They continue to do that, and sometimes it can cost you. And that's why both teams right now are trying to win the game. They're not just trying to settle for overtime. We're going to get a timeout here. They're trying to win the game. But the Greyhounds, what they do, Matt, is, when they're up a goal, they don't sort of play defense, all that sort of thing. They continue to attack, and sometimes that can cost you, and it did in that case. North Bay able to tie the game, but it makes for some exciting hockey, that's for sure. But it's interesting when you get a lead late. A lot of teams will just get the puck out, and just send one guy in and keep four guys back. But both these teams want to win the game, and they're attacking right now.
Yeah, the Greyhounds are not going to want to settle for that 1 point here, and neither are the North Bay Battalion. They have come in on a 3-game home winning streak. Of course, they've only played 3 home games since October 28th, but I digress.
Yeah, it's interesting, though, that you wonder why the Sioux attract some of these players is because of that very thing. They only play one way. They don't mix styles or anything. They attack all the time.
And it never seems like their speed fails them throughout the contest, right? They are pedal to the metal from the opening faceoff right to the final whistle. 1:42 to play as the Battalion will clear the puck out of their own zone and sending it down the ice. Kudratsev plays it to Kalisti. He fires it in. Verbetic gloves it down to make the save. Sent around on the near side boards and cleared out of the zone. It's Holmes with it. He plays it across to the far side. Now back to the near side. McKay to Cairns, and they just dump it in, and that line will change quickly. Now it's Nelson with it. Played to the near side corner to Winslow, who clears it out of the zone. And it's Holmes once again in behind his own blue line. Played across to Carlisle. Now up ahead. Back to Dickinson. Cross-zone pass in front of the net. Verbetic was looking the other way, and somehow that puck did not wind up in the back of the North Bay net as it skirted across the blue paint. Under a minute to play here in the third. 4-4 the score. The puck frozen in the corner, and the officials will just blow the play down.
Well, this is a game, and we don't know who's going to win it, of course. 45 seconds left and tied at 4. But this is a game I think the coaches are going to be proud of. They've been down, 3 times, I think, in this game? Twice, sorry. They've been down twice in this game. And they battled back both times, and they've taken the high-flying Greyhounds to the last minute in a tie game. And they've had different players produce, too, and that's what they were looking for.
North Bay get the puck out of the zone, and the Greyhounds track it down quickly in their own end. They play it down the ice. It gets past everybody, and that will be icing called against the Greyhounds. 33.3 seconds left on the clock in the third. It's 4-4. Both teams 30 seconds away from knowing that they're going to get at least a point here, but with the offensive zone draw coming up for North Bay, they're looking to put one in the back and sending the Greyhounds off on the road without one.
Well, it's going to be an exciting last few seconds, whatever happens.
Off the draw, North Bay wins it. Shot towards Tynan, and he gloves it down for a save.
And again, that's the whole key. You got to get a guy in front as a deflection, but maybe even as a screen if you're going to make those shots count. It wasn't a lot on the shot. It wasn't a difficult save for Tynan.
28.5 seconds now. Face-off on the far side circle in the Greyhound zone. Russell taking the draw. Can't win it as the Greyhounds find the puck and carry it out. They dump it in the zone. Nelson blocks that dump in quickly, and he sends it down the ice looking for Petrov. It's out of his reach, and the Greyhounds sends it right back down the other way. 10 seconds to go as Winslow has it behind the net. One last attempt up the ice. Nelson, long stretch pass for Petrov. He fires it in off the boards. 2 seconds to go, and this game is going to overtime. 4-4 at the end of 60 minutes of play.
Of course, Battalion had an overtime game not too long ago in Ottawa and lost that one. In fact, they had 2 tough defeats in Ottawa. One the last minute, I guess, on a penalty shot goal. And then last time they played Ottawa was after they beat them here. They played in Ottawa on a Saturday, and Ottawa winning that game in overtime. So let's see what happens tonight. Is the Battalion still looking for their first overtime win of the year?
Well, we can bring Derek in as we've got a bit of a break here as the coaches are going over their game plan before going into overtime. Derek, the Battalion overcoming 2 one-goal deficits. You got to think that the coaching staff are happy to get at least 1 point out of it.
Yeah, with the North Bay Battalion, so far this year, they were 3-5 when trailing going into that third period, and what a great effort by these troops to come back. Wants to make it 3-3 on that power play. Arnsby picking up his 7th goal of the season, but then another power play goal by the Sioux Greyhounds, and Petrov finding a way with his 17th of that season to tie things up here at 4. You know what? It's been exciting hockey here at North Bay Memorial Gardens, and we're in for an exciting finish as we're getting set for 3-on-3 overtime action.
Yeah, thank you very much, Derek. Should be great. Look forward to talking to you on the post-game show. Remember, 3-on-3, so more room than the Greyhounds are used to, and North Bay too.
And we should mention that third period of Battalion Hockey was brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram and tell them you heard this ad on the Battalion Game Day broadcast and save 10% on your next order. That's Northern Wood Customs on Facebook and Instagram as our third period sponsor, and we thank them for doing that. And now we're going to give you some free hockey here at Memorial Gardens. 4-4 the score into the overtime period. The Greyhounds win the opening draw. Moving down the left wing side is Cairns. He goes over the North Bay blue line. Now he'll backtrack and skate all the way to his own blue line. Now he sends the pass up the middle. It's on to the stick of McKay. McKay will now go back into his own zone, place it in front of his net to Cairns, and Cairns will now look down his right wing side. Now he cuts over the middle, back across the right side, McKay, across the left side, Cairns, over the blue line, McKay, Cairns going to the front of the net. He lost control of the puck. Nelson comes in and hits him, gets him off of the puck, and now it's in possession of Petrov behind the net as that line will change for the Greyhounds, and the Battalion gets some scores out there. Winslow on the ice with Coe. Coe coming down the right wing side. Draws it back to Coe for the blue line. Up ahead to Winslow, but he can't get a shot off. Winslow sends it around the end boards for Coe. Coe working his way to the middle. Coe, Daigle scores! Open the curtains and give the people what they want. The Brandon Coe Show is live now. The Battalion win it 5-4.
And who was the guy who stayed on the ice after that long Sioux shift? Nelson goes off. Petrov goes off. Remember, Petrov stays on initially so they could get guys on, but Coe stays on the ice. And it ends up being a big decision by Brandon Coe as he hung on to the puck, got his breath, and then just buried it, beats Tynan. And what a big win for the North Bay Battalion as their big line comes up huge in the third. They tie the game, Coe to Petrov, and then Coe wins it by himself. And North Bay gets the extra point here, 5-4 the final score. What a classic that was.
His 15th goal of the season sure will be a memorable one. Brandon Coe, fresh off signing a contract with the San Jose Sharks, and now he wins it for his troops here as they start the weekend with 2 points.
You know, in talking to Brandon Coe this week, it really impressed me, his maturity, his leadership, that he's such a valuable guy on this team. Not only the stats, the goals, and the assists, but also in the weight room, they tell me, somewhere I've never been, but they tell me in the weight room and in the locker room as well, encouraging these young players. So it's been a great week for Brandon Coe. Congratulations to Brandon, and what a great win for the battalion. Here's Derek.
Yes, taking a look at the third period and overtime scoring as the North Bay Battalion come out with a 5-4 overtime victory. Goals in the third period. Liam Arnsby scored his 7th of the season on the power play at 7:41 from Petroff and Russell. That tied things up at 3 apiece before Bryce McConnell-Barker, his 11th goal of the season on the power play at 11:06, gave the Sioux Greyhounds a 4-3 lead. Holmes and Tynan with assists on the power play goal before Matvey Petrov, his 17th of the season, 3rd point of the night, tied things up at 4-4 with at the 16-18 mark. Coe and Russell picking up assists on the tying goal before Brandon Coe with the overtime winner, a minute 10 into overtime, giving the North Bay Battalion a 5-4 lead.
Derek, just before we continue there, let's take a moment to recognize this evening's period sponsors. Obviously, it's the end of the game here, but that period of battalion hockey was brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram and tell them you heard this ad on the Battalion Game Day broadcast, and you can save 10% on your next order. That's Northern Wood Customs on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, taking a look at the shots on goal as Brandon Coe being announced as the first star of the night. We'll take a look at stars shortly, but looking at the shots on goal, third period, 16 for the Battalion, 13 for the Greyhounds. Overtime saw the North Bay Battalion getting the only shot, making the total 34 for the Battalion, 30 for the Greyhounds. Power play on the evening was the North Bay Battalion 3 for 6, and the Sioux Greyhounds 2 for 5. Face-offs almost pretty even, with the Greyhounds winning one more in edging 31-30 in the face-off category. Only one other game going on, and it's a final now as the Mississauga Steelheads have beat the Peterborough Petes 2-1 in overtime. Taking a look at the next game for the North Bay Battalion, they'll be in Barrie Saturday evening, a 7:30 start from the Saddle-On Arena in Barrie. Myself and Courtney Kenny will have the call of that game, and Ben Long will be with us doing all his audio magic, making it sound as good as he can. And then Sunday, we'll have the back end of that home and home as the Barrie Colts make the trip up Highway 11 to take on the North Bay Battalion. 2 p.m. here at Memorial Gardens for the annual Teddy Bear Toss night. Jamie, excitement here at North Bay, at the Memorial Gardens in North Bay. Just take me through that overtime excitement.
Yeah, honestly, quite the atmosphere in here. I know maybe halfway through that third period, we were kind of talking about how overall it was not necessarily the fans quiet, but it just seemed like a quieter battalion team or something. And then overtime kicked in, and wow, between the fans and the boys, especially when Coe buried that game winner, this place was electric. And I even saw Simon Rose go and pick up that puck at the end of the game there. I'm not sure if that's for Coe's first goal win since signing. I don't know who that puck is going to, but clearly these guys were very happy to come out of here with a W and to tie up the series between the Greyhounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, now it's tied at 2 games apiece. 2 more games left coming up in February. They'll be playing both games here at Memorial Gardens on back-to-back games. Talking about the best players, we expect Brandon Coe and Petrov to be carrying the load. We've seen that tonight. And then on the other end, we've seen Cartier and Kalisti and Cairns picking up the explosion of the points for the Sioux Greyhounds, and now updating the goals giving assists now on the overtime goal, Avery Winslow and Matvey Petrov. Points on the night, Petrov with a goal and 3 assists, Russell a goal, 2 assists, Brandon Coe a goal and an assist. Running down the third stars quickly. Third star from the Sioux Greyhounds is Rory Kearns, having himself a good night, picking up 3 assists in the contest. Second star, Petrov from the North Bay Battalion, 1 goal, 3 assists. And the first star, the hero of tonight's contest, Brandon Coe, 1 goal, 1 assist. Bob, let's get your comments in here quickly. Just thoughts on Brandon Coe's play all around this evening.
Well, you know, a couple of things stand out for Brandon Coe tonight. Well, the team stood out because they got some depth scoring from Mitchell Russell, from Liam Arnsby, and from Josh Curry. That's point one. Point two is the intelligence of Brandon Coe came to the fore in the tying goal and the winning goal. On the tying goal, he doesn't shoot the puck. Before the pause, he would have shot the puck, thinking, I got to be the guy, I got to be the hero. But he made the smarter play. He got it to Petrov. Petrov showed great patience and then scored the tying goal. On the winning goal, remember, he was on that shift for a long time. The Greyhounds were sort of, hogging the puck, trying to create a scoring chance. They didn't really get one. And Ty Nelson goes off. Petrov stays on for a second, and just basically to give, time for guys to get to the bench, etc. And then Petrov eventually gets rid of the puck and he goes to the bench. But Coe stays on. Coe receives that puck, and then he takes it down the wing, and he gets a great shot on Tynan and wins the game. So I think those two decisions by Coe, not to shoot the puck on the tying goal and to stay on the ice on the winning goal, shows you why he is definitely, an MVP candidate in this league this year. I mean, he's just doing those things that, to win in this league, you have to have a great player. You have to just a guy who not only scores big goals, but he scores them at the right time. He scores them in overtime, late in periods, ties games, all that sort of thing. And that's what Coe's become for this team. There was a play last week in the Hamilton game when Jackson got hit into the boards. Coe was the guy who stepped up and fought the guy. I mean, he is so valuable to this team. And, he brought them back. It's a big team win for the Battalion. They were down twice, and their best players showed up at crunch time and got the win.
Yeah, they were 3-5 went trailing going into the third period. A great effort, coming back twice to tie it up before Coe's eventual game winner. And just touching on that overtime minute, it was a minute 10 shift for Brandon Coe. Even though Sioux dominated the play and carried the puck around, the Battalion just stayed in their triangle, stayed in their system, didn't waste that energy, and didn't chase the Sioux Greyhounds. They let them do their thing and capitalized on a turnover, and Coe still had something left in that tank to give it a little extra, and it paid off tonight. One of the keys we talked about before the game is we were looking at 2 of the top 5 power play units coming into tonight's contest. The Greyhounds sitting on top of the OHL at 33%, and then the Battalion sitting 5th at just over 26.8%. And again, Greyhounds 2 for 5, so that average is going to go up. Battalion 3 for 6. You know what? Specialty teams. And Bob, those are important when you're in the top echelon of the OHL.
Yeah, it's when the other team has a potent power play. You can talk about either team tonight, but you better not get penalties. You better not get a too many men penalty. You better not get, really silly slashing penalties at the wrong end of the ice. I mean, they cost you, and we saw tonight, 5 power play goals, as you say. So, yeah, both teams are very productive with a man advantage. And even North Bay, they were, Mitchell Russell was on the power play unit, but he doesn't usually play center on the power play unit, right? He plays wing. And so they had to adjust to a new guy there. Arnsby hasn't been on the number 1 unit all year, and he was put on there, and he made don't forget Arnsby's goal. I mean, that deflection by Arnsby. They were down a goal when he made that goal count. So, I know we're talking a lot about Coe, and deservedly so, but it was other guy. Josh Curry stepped up with a big goal. I mean, it really was one of those games where either team could have won the game, but the Battalion didn't quit when they fell behind. They battled hard, and they scored when they had to. Yes, they had the power play goals, but those are they didn't lose, or they didn't win because the Sioux played poorly. The Sioux played a great game. It was like one of the best games of the year. I don't know why we're not getting more fans, because this is the best hockey you're going to see in the OHL this year. These two teams that played tonight. I mean, people who were here had a great time. Hopefully they tell their friends and family to check out the Battalion this year. But there's so many good stories with the Battalion. They got an MVP candidate. They got a Rookie of the Year candidate. I mean, there's just so many good things to highlight, and we saw tonight how good OHL hockey can be.
Yeah, and just talking about some of the accolades that have already come the North Bay Battalion way. We've seen Joe Verbetic pick up Goaltender of the Month in November. He's one of the top candidates going into looked upon as one of the top goaltenders in this OHL league. We had Kyle Jackson winning Player of the Month in November. These are guys that it's not Brandon Coe, it's not Petrov that are getting those. It's a guy like Jackson picking up the player. You know what? He's a pivotal piece that's on that unit. It's not just that we have star players. We talked about trying to get, and Oulahan mentioned this in the coach's comments yesterday during the scrum, is getting scoring other than that top line, and we saw that tonight. We saw Arnsby, Curry. Arnsby's been on a little bit of a slow streak,
a little plateau,
and Curry coming back off of a 2-game suspension. You know what? He played his physical presence. He was in there. He didn't let those 2-game suspension get him down.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I mentioned that to you from the first period. Curry, obviously his goal didn't come right away, but he was laying the body. He had a very nice block shot right at the blue line there, where we're looking at the Ontario Northland symbol in their own end in that first period. And then from there, he just kept with it. And yeah, what else can you ask for coming off a 2-game suspension, like you mentioned? A goal and playing on that second line. I know he kind of bounces through the lineup, but I definitely think he made a case for himself this evening.
Yeah, he was on the third line. They moved him up to the second line. They had Wakely on the second line. He's now on the third line. But yeah, I think they put the young guys on the third line, right, to see if they had Seema up on the second line tonight. But so there's a lot of jockeying the coaches are doing with their especially with guys out, right? Like if Jackson's in, Russell's on the second line. At times they miss Mathurin tonight, just because when he's on the ice, the other team doesn't score. But I think they're trying to figure out, do they move a guy from, say, the fourth line to the second line and try to fit him in with Arnsby and Russell once Jackson comes back? Do they keep the young guys together? Because they're all basically rookies, right? Even though it's Wakely's older because of the shutdown. But I just think they're trying to find that chemistry that they're going to need in the second half of the year. But I think it's really good tonight that they had some production from not the usual cast of characters. Curry, Arnsby both got huge goals. I thought Russell played well playing center. He hasn't played center in a while, so that was a good win.
But like you mentioned, the big boys came up when it mattered, right? Of course, they were, like Derek and I mentioned, Coe had a pretty quiet night. Petrov in the box, obviously, a couple more times than he'd prefer. But again, if you look at the score sheet, they're on it. And they're on it when it mattered.
Yeah,
that's the OHL, though. You need your best players to win you games like that. And, and that's what Brandon Coe's become to this team. Most of the games Brandon Coe's getting on board, or even Petrov, Kyle Jackson, first period, right? They've got a couple of goals, but you need wins like this where maybe it could have gone the other way and it didn't.
Yeah, just talking about streaks, Brandon Coe now up to a 14-game point streak. He's got 32 points over that 14-game streak, and Matvei Petrov now extending his streak to 11 games. So for Coe, that's the third longest streak right now in the OHL. And you know what? To me, I don't see any end in the near future for the way he's playing. He's like that man against boys right now. That experience he got going the play with the Barracuda last year. He was playing against guys that were young or older than him. He was getting challenged. He was giving some key time, and he could have let that kind of be a disappointment for him coming back here to the North Bay. But no, he took it upon himself to take what he learned up there and put it out into this year, OHL year, and prove to everyone else out there that he deserved a contract. He's gotten that. He wants all these accolades. He's trying his best to prove himself that he belongs in the NHL.
Well, it's not only his goals and assists and how he's adjusted to Petrov. Like, it's hard when you're the guy, right? When you're an elite player and they put another guy in your line who's also an elite player, and you've got to figure out, how do we make this work? And they've sort of worked it together. Some nights Petrov's the goal scorer, other nights Coe's the goal scorer, right? So he's had that. He's had to work with, just the importance of going to the weight room and just motivating his teammates that you've got to take care of your body during the season. And that's an important factor the coaches told us about. And then the other thing, of course, is in the locker room itself, encouraging players, encouraging guys. He's a much more mature Brandon Coe than before he went to the American League. There's no doubt about it. He's obviously signed a contract, and with an organization that developed. That's the good thing, that he's with the Sharks, a team that develops their younger players, and we saw that with Barclay Goodrow, the way his career developed over a 3 or 4 year period down there. So, Brandon Coe, everything's coming up roses right now, and he's been an impressive player.
And one of the comments that struck me is I know you had the opportunity, Bob, to talk to Brandon Coe Wednesday during the scrub, and you said that even in that conversation you had with him, you could tell he's a changed man from when he came into this league, and that he's matured and he's so much more confident about himself right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can like I said, I think I posted on one of our chat pages how impressed I was by Brandon Coe and his maturity, and on the ice, you see it on the ice, but off the ice is where I think the biggest improvements come in his game and the way he sees the game, and so yeah, this team is going to be. It's like we were saying before. Like, why wouldn't you want to watch this team play? They're so exciting to watch. I mean, that's the thing. The Greyhounds didn't play poorly tonight. North Bay played great, and it was a great game. And this is a special team, this battalion team this year. There's so many good positive stories, and it's going to be fun following these guys down the stretch in the second half of the year against some of these key. This home and home with Barrie is going to be, it's going to be fun.
It will be fun. But in the meantime, let's go down and hear what Ryan Houlihan had to say about tonight's game.
Ryan, first, your thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought it was an emotional type of game here. I think coming into it, I think both teams knew it was, two good teams going to go head-to-head with a good match. They're fast, they're skilled. They make things difficult on you. I think they really force you to buckle down, and for the most part, I was happy with our compete level. We probably made some errors, some mental mistakes, but that happens in the game, and we stuck with it. And then I think overall, I mean, that third period just reminded me of many years ago here in North Bay with some of the teams that were able to do that in the third period.
Yeah, last weekend you talked about learning a lot about the team in the last 8 minutes of that game. Was that similar tonight, where you had to have that team battle back twice just to tie the game, to force overtime before eventually winning it?
That's a really good point, right? And in that situation, we were up and we had to play a little bit differently to kind of buckle down. And in this situation, we had to play a little bit more freer, take some chances. And I thought we did it at the right times. And again, our big guys stepped up to the plate, and I just felt like it's fun to be on this bench and always feel like, the belief with the guys is that we're never out of it, and the game can turn, quite fast, and it was the case here tonight.
Talk about taking advantage of the of the man advantages tonight, and just when you got those opportunities, you made good on them, and that kept you in the game.
Yeah, we did, and I think more importantly than to just the power play was the penalty kill. The penalty kill was huge when it needed to be, with a couple big ones there, especially late, to make sure that it did get out of hand. So happy both sides with the special teams.
That's a couple of games now in a row at home that you've been able to do what you need to do, get 2 points here. Coming off a big, long road trip, I should say, 5 games on the road. What's it like to come back home and get away with 2 points?
Oh, it's nice. I mean, it's just, I don't think everybody kind of realizes, how hard it is to play on the road at any level, especially in this league with the parity in the league, and everybody can win on every given night. And I think what we get at home is we just can control a little bit more. We can control our energy levels. We can control, our warm-ups, our food, our nutrition, and it's of course you can control last change as well, but I just think all those elements, it's going to be nice to play a lot more home games here going forward.
And lastly, you talked about looking to rely on some depth guys during Wednesday's scrum. You get a goal tonight from Josh Curry, you get a goal tonight from Liam Marnsby. I guess that message was sent.
Exactly. I mean, that's huge. That's it's just such a bonus, and I thought our kids played really well too, especially that fourth line. I don't think they had a bad shift. I wish I could have played them a little bit more, just the way it went with special teams, but proud of absolutely the depth was huge tonight.
All right, thanks for doing this, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Battalion head coach Ryan Houlihan on tonight's 5-4 victory, overtime victory, heroics provided by Brandon Coe. Well, Bob Coles, any final thoughts on tonight's contest?
Well, most exciting game of the year at the Gardens. Against a real good hockey team, and they got the depth scoring they needed, and the big boys came through at crunch time when they needed to, and this Battalion team is going to be a handful come playoff time.
Sure, looking forward to the final 3 home games of this calendar season and everything that's going to come forward in 2022. Our next broadcast will be Saturday evening, 7:30 from the Saddle-On Arena as the North Bay Battalion make the trip south to take on the Barrie Colts. And then we'll have the home game, the return of that back-and-back, as Barrie Colts will take the trip up Highway 11 North to make it into the Gardens to take on the North Bay Battalion. Wow, what an exciting evening here from North Bay Memorial Gardens. Make the final score. North Bay Battalion 5, Sioux Greyhounds 4 in overtime. For Matt Sukram, Bob Coles, Jamie McKee, Ben Long, our producer, and myself, Derek Lindeman, thank you for joining us. And we'll do this again Saturday evening. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.